Hey, you're actually proficient with shield. The shield spell is all I have.
And it may have actually saved me from going down the last time, but no, you're fair and square. My character wasn't about to loot a temple to a goddess that is actively worshipped.
Hey, unlike you, I paid the tribute.
I was gonna be willing to.
The only one that screwed up is Orion.
Yep. You went too far. Had to chip away the arm.
Greed.
Yep. It is what it is.
And I love that he does it so often that Zermedes thought he was the rogue for a second.
Yep.
He's like, oh my bad, he's the bard. I'm like, yeah, I'm the rogue.
Just means you gotta step up your game.
Okay,
that
cameras.
Means I'm gonna be sneaky, not.
Cameras should be fixed, so that shouldn't be a problem. I've already got the stream going, so there are. That's good. All right, so this is for the audience. Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything. I'll coming at you with our Greek Odyssey D&D campaign with our cast of characters, and it looks like Mason's like snoozing over there. You know what? We got the Kilroy was
Mr.
here.
Wilson?
Look, the Kilroy. You know, with his, I was here. Okay, so here we come. Here comes the recap.
I just have to finish my hot dog and I'll be fully on camera.
Oh, that's fine. That's perfect. That way you're not embarrassing anybody.
Yeah, the food that is a little bit less messy.
Before we get started, before we get the recap going, I had a interesting thought to ask the players in turn. Out of all the flags in the world, you know, ours included, but every nation's flag, which one do you like the most? The appearance, not the country. Just the appearance.
Well, I like the Welsh flag.
The Welsh flag. What does that look like? What does the Welsh flag look like?
It's one of the few flags that has an actual dragon on it.
Okay. I think I remember that one then. Does it have like the English Union Jack in the corner? Okay, I could be wrong. Anybody else have a flag that they like in the world?
I have to admit, that's not something I really pay attention to.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is just a weird topic to think about.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, I like the white flag.
Oh, the French one.
I was thinking, you know, Italian, but that's okay. No. And then I thought, are there any flags out there that are just one solid color?
Almost.
Only the white one, right? I mean, is there any other flags out there that are just one solid color? Weird questions. Okay, that was just something that I...
Red flag, but that's more of a saying than an actual flag.
That's true. That's true. You got the red flag, yeah. And you got the yellow penalty flags.
I have lots of warm memories associated with the Canadian flag.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to live up near the border.
I was thinking another flag I like is the, is it New Zealand? Is that the one with the, no, it wouldn't be New Zealand because it's got the Big Dipper on it. I'm trying to remember which one had that. But that's okay. That's it. believe it or not, it's not the U.S. flag. I don't think that's the best looking flag out there. Okay, so let's get into the recap. Okay, so you guys should be on. Let me make sure I'm not on a different page as you guys. Okay, you guys are on the landing page. And in the bottom left-hand corner, you got the regional map of where you guys are located. And then I'm just going to bring us over to... yeah, the regional map. And that will show approximately where you guys are located nationally, or you know, what do you call it? Regionally, I guess. You're between the towns of Ithia and Illos in a small fishing village. You had... okay, so let's bring this recap to... You heard a story from a messenger about the... I gotta lower the volume. Oh my gosh, the volume was way too high. There we go. It's blaring my ears out. I couldn't think. Okay, so you got a message. Or you heard rumors or stories about a messenger asking for his king's help, or help for his king in Illos. I think the king's name is Leandros, and he was needing people to either find or rescue his daughter, who is also a powerful oracle, and he was willing to pay 100,000 tridents for her return. As heroes do, it seemed like this would be a good quest, not just good because of the money, but because it would be a good thing to do, you know, rescue the daughter and all that. So you headed out to go to Illos. Some of you headed out not together, but separately, or found yourself in two different groups, and then you made it to the small fishing village, which was beset by a storm the night before. And then following that, a temple emerged out of the water and off the coast, off the shore, and there were Marrow raiders coming in and taking the fishermen. They killed a few fishermen, killed a few of the villagers, but also captured and kidnapped a few of them. Vowing to return these fishermen or rescue these fishermen, one group of you, that would be Orion, Raxus, Zermates, and I don't think the S should be pronounced. I think it should be Zermati, but that's okay. Because
Xerxes was pronounced,
but he's Persian. He's not Greek. I know a Greek guy named Dimitri, and his name ends with an S. So I don't know. I don't speak Greek, so, but yeah. But then again, also So Zermedes, Orion, Raxus, and who else?
it was a girl.
Thaia, absolutely. but there. Maybe that was it. Maybe there was a fourth that disappeared. Yeah. Okay. So it was three and the girl. You went out to the sunken temple, found your way into the temple catacombs. You, in your journey, you found some more of the raiders in there. You dispatched them, and in their nets, you found a couple of new allies in the cleric Lycos, right, and the and Gallus, the like a scout warrior type. You banded together to help the villagers and dug deeper into the temple, and were on the lower level. Well, okay, let's stay on the upper level. In the upper level, there was a guardian statue that you basically disrobed, and then, but once Orion decided that he was wanting to, I think it was Orion, wanted to pry the spear out of her hand, it fought back, and and then you had basically were forced to destroy the statue, and by doing that, he was able to get this spear that he wanted, which is extremely heavy bronze spear. It's not usable. It's just more, well, unless you're a bronze statue.
I thought the statue was made of living stone.
Yeah, and well, it was a stone statue, and I wouldn't say it was living, but it was stone. And
it had muscle that moves. I'm still freaked out by that.
Right, and then you went below. There was a second level, and you found your way to the quarry, which. Oh well, you also fought one of the priests apparently who had from a long time ago. He's a very old priest that kept himself alive in this tomb by scratching symbols on the inside of his sarcophagus. And then beyond that, you went and found the villagers floating in the quarry, but there were also other creatures there that you had to dispatch, which you did, and then you rescued these villagers, and you realized after rescuing them that they were cursed, right? They had started growing scales on parts of their body. They had like wounds around their neck, like they were eventually going to grow into gills. I mean, it was just scratches, but they looked like if they were in there much longer, or if this curse is able to progress much longer, it will be worse. And they would be turned into these marrow creatures. And then over the next 3 hours, you were able to ferry them back to the fishing village, because you can't get all of yourself and all of them into the boat. So you had to take trips back and forth off camera to the fishing village, and you were able to get them all back to the fishing village, where the can you guys hear that? Okay. where the town headman or whatever and is waiting. And that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with you guys being in the fishing village with the villagers. on the beach, having just spent a few hours rescuing them.
I asked them if they're seen my family.
Well, I don't think so, but let me go to your character sheet.
I assume I live there and my family live there too.
No, you don't live here.
What?
Yeah, you originally lived in Ithia, which is the big city.
Ah.
Yeah, very few people live in this village. There's like maybe a dozen people lived here, and your family wasn't part of that. Ithia might have been where your family is. But remember, I'm going to share this with you. Don't forget, you don't have a family.
My adopted family.
You don't even have an adopted family. You have a dead mother, and you don't know who your father is. You were an orphan. You had foster parents because you were left on a hill to die. And you had some foster
It
parents.
was a shipwreck. Don't mind me.
It might have been a shipwreck. That's fine. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. But that would have been in Ithia. And
All
that's
right.
where you met your hermit friend and all that. And that's where you met Orion. And you were
And my
you were very close friends with Orion.
Wow. And my very belligerent elven rival.
Right. It seems like that's a theme with you. You've got a lot of rivals.
Yeah.
But I have all the villagers that survived of this attack on the map, along with Cadmos. Cadmos is the headman. There's really most of these buildings, if not all of these buildings, are damaged or destroyed. Anything that was lootable or stealable or taken was already taken by the Marrow. And really this village doesn't have anything to offer, as in the boat that you used to bring them back to the dock has already sunk, because it's got a damaged bottom, and it's the only thing that might have been considered. Okay, let me change that layer to the token layer. There we go. This building right here, this whole building complex is up on a hill, and that hill there's a tower, and that's where there was like I'm not going to say like a lighthouse, but it was a tower where a couple of the villagers took refuge against the attacks, and that's where Thaia came out from to help you on the beach. But there were still a bunch of bodies laying around the beach, people that were killed. Cadmos and Tellius, being the other survivor that was on the beach left behind, they have taken a little bit of time to gather the bodies and not in a pile. They're not going to pile them up, but basically they prepared them for their passage to the underworld. All right, so that's where we're beginning. You guys are. Oh, by the way, it is about 10 p.m. Because of the having to go back and forth under the moonlight with a broken boat that can only carry 5 people at a time, maybe 10 if you pack it in. That's why it took a couple of trips, and it is about an hour of rowing from the island back to the shore. And for those of you that haven't seen the island from the outside, that's what it looked like from the outside.
All right.
Okay. Would I be able to bring the eels that we killed with us?
Food.
They're regular animals, and I don't like to let that go to waste.
The deep eels?
Yes.
Yeah. You could
Awesome.
you could probably bag up about 5 of them.
I'll take it. Eels my personal favorite.
We can dry and salt them to make ration.
No, they're for tonight.
All right.
I imagine there's not much food left in the village. This won't feed everybody, but it's something.
Actually, 5 eel will feed everybody.
Oh, they were medium, weren't they?
Yeah, they're a good 6 feet long at least.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Awesome.
Yeah, they're not
And
fishes.
they're good. They're good. 6 inches in diameter.
Yeah, no, I think we're starting with that.
I think I even have art that
Yep.
That's an eel.
yeah, that's what the deep eels look like. I also have a piece of art that I couldn't find last week. Okay, that's the neophyte, right? That we already knew. That's the one that's very weak. And then there was the acolyte, which is the one that was the last one that you were fighting, that had the casting spells and stuff like that. And you can see there it's more changed, more of a fish head kind of thing. And the raiders being the middleman, or whatever you want to call them. There you go.
Yeah, but the acolyte looks less creepy.
Right. Now, some of you, or I should say one of you, has a note in your folder. Actually, all of you do, but they haven't been activated yet. But this one has been activated. And you can act upon it at any time, however you wish. So these villagers start a fire. So we're going to cook the eel, I assume?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Smoked
So
eel is amazing.
they gather some wood from the buildings that have been damaged and destroyed and broken, no longer usable. It's a lot easier than going down and cutting down a tree because the wood is lumber. It's already ready to start a fire. The buildings, even though it rained last night, of course the buildings would all be dry by now, because it was a clear day. But it is evening time. And Cadmo says to your group, you've done a great service. I don't have any way to repay you. I hope that you had recovered whatever treasures you were able to recover from the temple, and that can be your payment. I mean, we have 0. I mean, we have less than 0. everything we have is broken and destroyed. And
We have debts.
Well, speaking of payment, it would seem that we must purchase a boat from you. We borrowed one and returned it sunken. I do not know the cost of a boat, but I would hope that this covers it. And I hand him 8 of the 100, or 8 of the 10 gold pearls.
okay.
Scion.
He holds his hand out when you give him the pearls, and then he pushes it into your chest. I can't take this.
You have a village to rebuild, do you not?
No.
And boats. We sunk a boat.
Yeah, we can't stay here.
Very well.
Take this. I can't be in your debt. You've done us a great service by recovering our friends. I couldn't take anything like that from you.
But your villagers aided in their rescue.
It's the least we could offer you.
You brought us food. You brought us home. You defeated the vile creatures that attacked our village. I don't know what else to say. We owe you our lives. We don't need money from you.
Fair enough, I suppose. Still, I would say for now.
I
If you
understand the sentiment.
want to pay us with one more boon, one more request.
What is it that you would like of us?
I heard that you were heading to Illos. We have nowhere to go, so maybe we could travel with you to Illos.
Well, of course.
That doesn't sound like a problem at all for us, really.
And then once we get to Illos, then we can maybe ask the king or get, reestablish a livelihood there. I mean, we were just trying to make a go for it, but we can do that in Illos. So, and then if we can't, then we'll come back maybe, because it's only about a day's walk from here. So maybe we can gather some supplies or, work there for other, shippers or fishermen or whatever there until we can make enough to come back if we even want to. I mean, we've all lost so much here. I don't think anybody will want to come back here.
Alright then, that sounds like a good plan. I don't think any of us here have a problem with you joining us on the trek up to the next town.
Excellent. If you want, the lighthouse tower is still intact, and it's got like a little walled courtyard if you'd like to stay in there, or you can stay on the beach, or the villagers are all probably going to start heading out. They're going to grab their share of whatever eel is cooked, and they're going to head over to the lighthouse tower.
Thank you for your generosity. I think I'll take residence over by the light tower for tonight.
And Thaia is basically one of the villagers as herself. But Cadmus will basically hang out with you guys to answer any questions or to, just basically he's kissing your sandals.
I thought these would go to another cause. Since they are now unclaimed, I'm going to pass each of you 2 of these pearls, and I'm dropping them in chat.
I assume you all head over to the lighthouse tower.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go in there with him, or are you gonna stay outside
not
the
yet.
tower? Okay, because it's kind of
Crowded.
yeah. It's not it's not crowded, but it is because the tower itself is like 3 stories. It's got a ground floor, a mid floor, and then it's got a roof. And on the roof there is already a fire burning, and you can see smoke and stuff. It's basically kind of like a lighthouse.
I want to sit on the roof with my back to the fire and brutally watch the sea.
Okay. Perfect. Cadmo says to you guys, do you guys need anything from us? I know you guys you need to rest. Half my villagers are all sick and they can't walk very well. They seem to have been through a severe ordeal, and half of them look like they've got some kind of disease.
Yes, we did notice that as we rescued them from the marrow. I will pray to Athena for them and see if I can't give them any aid here and now.
I can use the bed.
And tomorrow morning, once we leave, I can help as many of those who cannot walk properly to Illos.
Okay, so what, when you pray to Athena, right?
Yes.
Are you?
I'm praying on behalf of...
What I mean by this? Well, hold on.
Oh.
Are you casting a spell, or are you?
I don't have
You're
any...
doing the. You're doing the daily ritual of talking to her and sharing your wishes and basically just praying. You're not.
Yes,
You're not
yes,
performing
just,
some magical.
Nothing
ritual.
that I have mechanic-wise is going into this. This is
Okay.
simply I am praying on their behalf to a god. If a miracle happens, great. But being a cleric, that would be the thing that I do. And then, if there's anything I can tend to them,
Make a medicine roll.
my character, yeah. Which I am definitely granted guidance from my goddess on this one.
So you are casting a spell.
Cantrip.
Still a
Yes,
spell.
that is it. I could do an E4 on top of that.
You can.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
22.
With 22, you notice that they are kind of having a little hard time breathing because they're kind of in limbo between water and air. They can still breathe, but every now and then you'll see a little bit of water squirt out of their necks or whatever, and their skin is flaking. The scales are falling off.
So it looks like they are potentially reverting, or they're in this half state and dying.
Well, they don't look like they're dying. They look like they're regaining a little bit of strength after eating some eel. They look like they are...
So they're reverting back. It's just it's a slow, painful process.
Right. It looks like they're no longer transforming to a marrow. It looks like they are... whatever had happened to them is going away. It's probably going to be a day or two.
All right, and it was Cadmus was the guy who was head of this village, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll let him know that the fishermen that we brought back looks like they are, regaining their humanity. It might take a couple of days for them to, fully, lose the gills and the scales. It might be painful for some of them, but they should revive and recover from this.
Thank you. Praise Athena.
Praise Athena. I'll go tend to myself with 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Well, just
I'm
like the
gonna-
villagers, they all have 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna over. I assume it's a ledge.
What is? What's a ledge? Muted.
To the water. He's digging in the water.
That's like a little beach. It's a little beach, sandy beach.
A little bit, alright. But well, I'm gonna pray to my goddess also.
Okay. Absolutely.
More like, yeah. Saying that I protected her temple and not demanding.
Yeah, just giving her the heads up. letting her know
Yeah,
that
and
you
my,
have done what you've done.
Yeah, and my more like confusion about what does she want from me.
Right. Okay. So everybody tends to their wounds. Everybody tends to their each other. Helping each other out, cooking the food. The villagers are all like bundled up. They're a little cold, but that's fine. You got fire going. And I assume you guys are going to take a long rest for the morning before you head out towards Illos. Right?
Yeah.
I assume we do.
Thaia says that she can pull guard. If any of you feel up to it, you can share the guard with her.
Yeah, I'm gonna share the guard. Yeah.
Okay, so not
I'd
only
be a very lame scout if I didn't.
so Thaia, Gallus, anyone else gonna share guard?
I will.
Okay, I'm just moving you off there just so I can see.
I can see in the dark. I might as
Orion
well.
is starting to feel ill, like he has a tummy ache, and he can't. He thinks that the eel just doesn't sit well with him.
I tease him about it.
Okay, it might
He
be
must
because
have eaten some before it was ready.
well, it might be because he's a half elf. I don't know, but yeah. What about Raxus? Now Raxus has a special rule about guard. Do you not?
Yeah, I was gonna volunteer to take guard with him.
Okay. But you have a special rule about pulling guard.
Oh yeah. So if anything, I can just tell you guys I can just stay up as long as I need to, just after I rest for a little bit.
Nice.
I'm trying to look at the. Which one is it? It's not Keen Scout. Am I looking at the wrong one? I'm the Raxus.
It's. I think it was from his god thing.
Constructed resilience.
He's got to go low power mode.
Well, my god gift is being great at poker.
Yeah, you don't need to eat, drink, or breathe.
What? He's got life support powers?
You do not need to sleep, and magic cannot put you to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
When you take a long rest, you must spend at least 6 hours in inactive, motionless state. But rather than sleeping in this state, you appear inert, but it doesn't render you unconscious. And you can see and hear as normal.
Yeah, so I can help by
that's-
staying guard for most of it.
Raxus is a construct?
No!
Not
Not
exactly.
No, but actually yes.
He is a he appears to have hinges. Like his elbows are hinged. And his shoulders and his neck has like plates that make it flexible.
He's an action figure.
He's an action figure.
Nice.
But
So
he
it's
also
kinda
has
like-
skin and hair.
Yeah, I was thinking more like Wonder Woman clay statue that was giving life by God.
Yeah, so you would just basically shut down somewhere for about 6 hours, but you'll be conscious the entire time. So you can just reactivate yourself at any time, and then later go back as long, you know. So basically, you're kind of, but an elf only has to like rest for like 4 hours. You just rest for 6, and everybody else is 8. But okay, so I'll put you in the rotation. Are you going to just post somewhere and go into a guarded rest, or are you going to actually go sleep somewhere?
I'm going to go into a guarded rest just in case something happens, because we may have killed all the Maryland there as far as we know, but Raxus just wants to take a guarded rest just to be safe.
Okay. So what about the other 3? Are you guys going to give everybody 2 hours, or... Because you could... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I'll still take a 2-hour chunk.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so before you... I know a lot of you probably haven't leveled up yet. You all can go ahead and level up, because you're going to be able to make it to the morning with no incident. No more marrows attack the village. But in the evening, something happens that won't affect your leveling up. It only happens to a few of you. Okay, we're going to start with Gallus. I'm going to read it so that everyone can hear it, but I'm also going to show this to you. Okay. This is what happens. You fall asleep, you're waiting for your next guard shift, and then you find yourself on a beach like the one of the ruined village. A woman walks out of the ocean bearing a trident. She holds it out, presenting it to you to look at. So she's holding it out, like letting you examine it. While holding this trident, you see a face in each point of the spear. The center point has an old man with a crown, grasping his throat as if poisoned. It's like this, right? The second point has a man, has a nondescript noble man, smiling as if he ate the last candy.
So a mischievous smile.
Could be that, yeah. A third point has the face of a young man, sad and tied to a post. Behind him, a large tentacle emerges out of the water. After you look at this and you see these 3 points, the woman does not speak, and she turns and walks out to the water and disappears under the waves. And that's when you wake up.
Gods and their riddles!
Yeah.
Does it?
How do you want to act on that?
Not yet, because I have a history with those kind of dreams. I'm gonna ponder on it before sharing it.
Well, you've got a whole guard shift that you can spend on that. And then each of you sleep, and each of you wake up feeling refreshed. Max hit points. Roll your take a long rest, get all your spell slots back, arrange the proper spells to the ones that you think you might need on the journey to Illos, and your it's going to take about 6 to 7 hours to get to Illos, so basically the whole day. And remember, you're going to have these villagers with you, and they all seem to be when you wake, they all seem to be eager to get on the road, but saddened that they have to get on the road because they just lost their livelihood, the village, and their family and friends.
I'd like to actually approach Gallus. Which one was Gallus again? Yes. I'd like to approach Gallus during the guard shift change.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. You got a special note.
You have an interesting egg. What manner of creature laid that?
Okay, before we get into any of that, I need everybody to level up.
Oh, okay. I did.
If you're unfamiliar how to level up,
I did as well.
Go to your character sheet, go to the gearbox, slide all the way to the bottom right. It'll say Charactermancer +1 level. And you click it.
Not the level 1. Make sure it's the +1 level.
Yeah, not the one that says this cannot be reversed or whatever. It's not the +1.
It can be reversed. It's just very difficult.
If you roll a 1 on your hit die, which you did not, but if you do, you get to re-roll it.
Okay.
So 1s are re-rollable once. So if you roll a second 1, you're stuck with it.
Okay.
And that's
so
every level.
Launch level plus Charactermancer.
Well, I've already got you rolling a hit die.
Yeah, I did that. I just didn't know if that did.
That won't apply unless you do the Charactermancer. So you can ignore that 4 as if it was never rolled.
Okay.
Because that hit die you rolled looks like was healing for like a short rest or something.
Yep.
My speed is 45 now.
Yeah, so I'm going to pull up your character sheet just to make sure that I am with you on this. Yep, you're in it. You're in the Charactermancer. We do not take the average ever. You always roll.
Oh, okay.
So if it says if you took the average, then you were wrong. Sorry.
Oh,
But-
my bad. I didn't know.
Okay, I know, that's fine. So if you roll a 1, you get to re-roll. But if you roll a 2, you're stuck with it.
It is what it is.
It is. At second level, most people don't get pretty much anything except maybe a spell slot or something. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I get my keep.
I can dash twice.
Oh yeah, because you're a scout.
No, I'm a rogue. A thief has cunning action.
I get action surge.
Damn.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's a lot
Well, you
of
can attack twice, I can move twice.
Yeah. Well, you can move twice every turn. He only gets to attack twice once.
Ha!
Okay, so once everybody gets leveled up, just let me know. So then we
Well,
can
it was
then we
like
can progress
3
with
clicks.
Zermides.
Alright, I think I did it.
You're good? Raxus is good? Simon?
Yeah.
You're good? And Mason, you're good?
Yes.
Okay. Resume roleplay. Okay, sorry.
What manner of creature laid the egg in your pouch?
How do you know I have an egg in my pouch?
I saw it. I noticed things, and you're not sneaky.
Thought that
Plus,
was on
it's
my camera.
shiny.
Well, since it's a goose egg, maybe try a goose?
Have a goose that lays such fancy eggs?
I don't have the goose, I only have the egg that I had since I was an infant.
Can it be hatched?
I don't know, it hasn't yet.
Zermates, you have a picture, do you not?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, just making sure.
Have you tried opening it?
I don't try,
And have
I
you looked?
don't-
Have you looked at its abilities?
yeah.
You have. Okay,
Well,
see,
it's written over there.
that's what I mean. So you know what it can do. I'm waiting for an answer.
I don't have a use for that yet.
I know, but I'm asking you as a player.
No, that's the answer I'm giving Zermany.
Right.
Oh.
I'm asking you a question directly. Do you know what it can do?
Yes.
And you know how it's used?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Go back. Because it's not
When you-
normal.
Yeah,
I was
when
really-
you
I was merely curious. I've never seen an egg quite like that.
well, it's the only one I've seen.
It's also the only one I've seen.
I'm gonna go to sleep while like
Right, you're right.
I've
So
stated my curiosity.
the lion man weirds me out.
okay. Okay, so it's the new day. And
You
you
go to
guys
sleep and you see my eyes glowing in the dark.
gather the large mob that you have with you.
I can ask Cadmus if they have any like wheelbarrows or carts or anything that might help in the transportation of the fellow villagers that are maybe too weak.
We have a minotaur.
Yes, but it's not very ceremonious to stack people upon, you know, a person or creature.
They have a plank if you wanted to lay somebody on a plank and drag it behind the minotaur.
No, I was thinking they could get in one of these damaged boats and he could pull it
All the boats are sunk.
like a cart.
Yeah, all the boats are sunk, but you could make a impromptu stretcher or something like that.
Yeah, we can make like a.
But they all can walk. They all can walk right now.
Oh, they all can walk. Okay.
Okay.
They all feel a lot better after having rested and eaten.
Oh, that's a relief.
And we need to go so that we all don't like die of starvation.
Yep. Let's do one. You know.
Because I don't know if you guys have
Like,
rations and if you brought it and you have enough for everybody, which you probably don't, because nobody should have had more than like 1 or 2 rations.
Yeah.
I have 2, but as an outlander, I can feed some people.
Yeah, you and so many more people. Right?
Yeah.
5? Total of
Let
6?
me double check. I believe that was it, though. Hunter? No.
Okay, well that means you can, if they take half rations or whatever, you could feed everybody.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, so if everybody ate half rations,
Because the Minotaur doesn't need to eat, so that's...
right?
It's myself and... if I take half rations as well, then that would leave us 1 half ration short.
I mean, I have a ration that I'd be willing to.
Yeah, I got one.
Eat yourself.
I'm willing to share.
You have a ration you'd be willing to eat?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
'Cause you
need
have
to
to-
be provisioned for, but I have a spare ration. If it only takes
Oh,
a day,
okay. Yeah, it looks like it's only going to take a day.
I'd be willing to put my other ration.
Then I will hunt to give them all their half rations, and I'll eat one of my full rations.
Okay, that works.
Alright.
They were happy to have whatever you offer them. Zooming in over here by the sunken temple in the village and everything. If you scroll down, you'll see where there's a travel time. 1 hex is approximately 3 miles, which approximately takes 1 hour. Approximately. In a normal pace, you could go 8 hexes a day. A slow pace, you can go 6 hexes a day. And that's assuming you're staying, you're trying to be extremely stealthful, you're sneaking up on somebody, you get
Not taking the road.
you get advantage on perception checks and stuff like that when you go slow. If you go fast, you would have disadvantage on all those things, and you don't have to zigzag like that.
Oh.
You could just follow the road.
Alright, I think a normal pace would be fine.
And we're not in that big of a hurry or anything.
I mean, we need to make sure you can get there without starving.
So it's
But,
about 6 hexes.
Yeah, so even the slow pace, we're fine for 1 day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can actually go a little bit faster than slow if you want. You could go normal,
As
Yeah,
long as it's
which
not
means you would
overtaxed.
get there before dark.
which is what I would prefer.
Yeah.
Let's go casual, like 7.
If I'm
can
allowed
go
in
7.
the city, it's definitely not going to be after dark. Right.
Cadmus says, "Oh, no worries, my friend. All are welcome in Illos." Day or night.
A lovely change of pace.
Yes, King. I'm going to make sure I'm saying this right. I think it's Leandros, but I can't remember everything all the time.
Why not?
I know, I'm not inhuman. Give me a second. What is it? It's Ithiot? No, it's yeah, that place and Illos and Illos overview. Yeah, Leandros. Yeah, King Leandros is very progressive. He will welcome you with open arms. And knowing that you are going to be champions of his daughter. I mean, he's not going to turn that
What?
away. What do you mean?
Well, I just got captured by the Mer folks, and they got me out. I got no idea about a daughter.
You didn't hear the
Oh.
story? They didn't. These heroes didn't tell you that in the temple. I could have swore that everybody
we
knew.
had forgotten in the middle of everything.
I did not know he was accompanying us that far. We found him in a net.
Oh,
Yes,
well,
the King of Ilos's daughter has apparently been taken, and he offers much for her return.
So we are on a quest. So we're going to see him about a quest to go and search and find her.
Well, some of us are on a quest.
I was already heading that way because I had heard about this. So that was my intention.
yes.
Got knocked out.
Lycos stopped when it started raining. He came to our village, and he told us about the. We welcomed him into the village, and then all of a sudden, thunderstorm and lightning and devastation, and he tried to help the village, and then I assume he was kidnapped and captured and taken out to the temple with the other villagers. But he's not normally from here.
Now, I believe I have no problem in taking these two from the temple with us. They may have been captured and strung up to die, but upon being freed, they proved themselves worthy in combat and did their utmost to settle the score. I have no qualms with traveling with them.
Neither do I. There is strength in numbers, after all.
Thank you for having me along.
The Lion Man is very straightforward. I like him.
Right,
Do I know his kind is named Leonin?
You've heard of him. You've heard of Leonin. You also know, this is what you know of Leonin. Nothing.
Exactly. I know the name.
But you also know that they live across the mountains. They're isolationists, and you never see them outside of their tribes.
Which means I'm either banished or weird.
Or both.
Maybe both.
Or both.
Okay, so let me get a couple of die rolls on my own here for some death rolls. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so you guys are going to travel a number of miles, right, to Illos. You're traveling slow. Is that right, or do you want to travel normal? Because you can just travel normal. These guys can walk.
Yeah, no moral.
You're not carrying them or anything like that. I mean, yeah, they want to stop every now and then, but you just kick them in the butt and they'll get up and walk, you know.
So yeah, 7.
I would prefer a normal pace.
Okay.
And
Yeah. They'll keep
right?
up. And if you need to help somebody, you can help them. There's no problem. Cadmus and a couple of the others and the town guard, they're all healthy, so they can help you as well. Okay, so I'm going to move you down to Illos, and
I would insist on fast, but not if I'm hunting for 6 people worth of food. It's not going to happen.
right, so I'm going to give you this map. You might have to zoom out to be able to see the entire thing.
Ooh, fields.
Yeah, let me...
Hey, this is just the map from your last tabletop game.
What? No.
Oh,
right, no.
Okay, but I'm watching for that tank.
Party token. Let's see if I can get a party token on here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to grow the token out a little bit because you've got quite a sizable group with you. Okay, maybe not that big.
Is that a fat joke?
Yeah.
Because I swear it's all fur.
Okay,
And stars.
so I put you in the upper left-hand corner. And I've got like 3 different pages I need to kind of share with you before we get started.
Lore dump.
Yeah, it's a lore dump, really. Okay. Illos is a large town built on the white cliffs that overlook the sea. A palace of heavy white blocks and pillars crowns the headland. Okay, so that would be number 6, okay, on the map. Okay, the land is a cluster of white plaster buildings painted with faded blue accents and bounded by low stone walls. I'm sorry, the village is bounded by a low stone wall. This domain and the surrounding estuaries of the Trident have long been ruled by the kings and queens of Illos. They are Thessa's people, sailors, pearl divers, and fishermen. Okay. Okay, that's all you're getting out of that page.
I don't like number 7.
Why?
Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna read this. The village of Illos is ringed by low, stacked stone walls. Its rough gates open to the shuffle of donkey carts and sandaled feet. Inside, the crumbling plaster walls of stone huts are painted with faded blue accents. A keyed band, or waves, or just a simple line. These adornments are overshadowed by black cloth draped in front of the windows and doorways of each home. A somber silence lays thick upon the village. Okay, I don't know why they didn't put this all in order. I apologize. As the city comes into view, so too does a somber procession making its way to the shore. You see a somber procession. Okay. Just a picture. A hooded priestess wearing a leaden mask swings a smoking censer. 4 men clad in black cloth carry a bier, which is basically a stretcher, upon which rests the figure of an old man. His face pale and sallow, beard white. Leaden coins rest upon his eyes, and upon his brow a leaden circlet. King Leandros is dead. Several hoplites flank the procession, each with a kraken upon their shield. That would require an intelligence, history, religion check. Okay, before you roll, this is a rule. It's a party roll. So what that means is, I don't do it the way D&D says to do it. You don't roll everybody and take the average. It's not the way I'm doing it. One person rolls with advantage if someone else is helping, which in a party situation, you're all helping. So one person, you decide who, makes a history or religion check. And then that is basically that person saying, hey, I think I remember this. Yeah, me too. This is that, And it's the party kind of collaborating on the result. So who wants to roll?
I know nothing of the history of your kind.
Because if I had a party of 5 players and I had them all roll, every roll would always be a success for the party. And that's not the way we're doing it.
So I do have some religion.
Yep, I would think so, being a cleric.
Yep.
Go for it, man.
Don't insisting me, I will do it.
So religion or history with advantage.
Not good on history.
Okay, so do religion.
17.
Nice.
Yes, 17. Okay, so you recognize this. You recall that the symbol of Illos is what is right up here.
Yeah, it's dolphins.
Yep.
The 3 dolphins. These guys are not that. They are this. Okay, hang on. Art handout. NPCs? Yeah, maybe. Creatures, maybe? They're not NPCs? Ah, yes. That's what these hoplites look like, right?
LARPers.
They are
Would
not...
I-
Yeah, they have a kraken on their shield and not dolphins.
Would
That
I-
was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
That's pretty
weirdly specific for a picture.
Would I recognize this symbol to be just another one of the towns around here, or is this like a strange symbol? Or since it could be religion, is it a different religion coming in other than Thessa? I know there's 3 dolphins, just like a trident would have, which might be different than the Kraken.
Okay, usual. Okay. The symbols could be a variety of different things. You don't know which one it is. They could be from a different city state. You don't remember any city state in this area that uses the Kraken. So you can rule that out probably. Individual nobles that have like personal guard might have a symbol.
Like house emblems.
Like a house emblem,
Yeah.
right? And then there's also mercenary units that hire themselves out. They'll have their own like mercenary company symbol or whatever. So it could be either of those.
So it's not Ethia. Well, it's not my symbol.
No,
that
that
my
is
city-
that's a trident.
Yeah, I know that Thessa is a trident, but my city-state
Is a
I
trident.
serve a trident also. All right,
Yeah, it's a trident because Ithia is Thessa.
all right.
I mean, they're one and the same. Okay. Okay. So the funeral procession walks down. Okay. There's what did I say? There was. I skipped over eyes upon its brow, leaden. Several hoplites flanked the procession, each with a kraken. But you recall that Illos is not the kraken; it's 3 leaping dolphins. You do not see any hoplites with dolphin shields. The funeral procession walks down the same worn path as you. It appears that this procession is making the rounds. Okay, it's like they're not going specifically to a destination. They're walking around the village or the city to basically like a parade. It's going around everywhere before it gets to its destination. Now you're just waiting for them to throw beads, right? No, okay, sorry, that's different.
That would be inappropriate. A man's dead.
Right. Okay, so that when you guys approach the town, okay, that's where it was at. They basically are gonna come. They're walking or trying to walk past you, and a man steps out of the procession, kind of not double times it, but quick hurry scuttles up to the front of the procession where you guys are at. And he is a thin man. He's bald. He has a nose like a beak. His eyes are accentuated by dark wings of black and gold. Okay, like it's like makeup. His ornate robes bear a kraken embroidered in silver thread. Stand aside, commoners. Who dare obstruct the funeral rites of the honorable King Leandros of Illos?
We do not mean to obstruct. We will get off the path. We were just simply coming from the village, a day's walk from here. And I will turn to help get everyone off the road so that the procession can...
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get off the road.
Okay, so
but
everybody-
we're looking really offended.
You're showing like your respect for the king, and you step off the road,
Yeah.
and this other younger man comes up, and okay, give me a second. See if I can't get a description. Okay, he looks like a Greek. This other young man comes up. He gets out of the procession and steps forward as well. Now he is wearing a tunic, very ornate, with blue accents, right? And he says, "Wait, I know this man," and he's pointing at Cadmus. He was a friend of my father's.
The prince.
If you have come here to say your farewells, I fear you are too late. And Cadmus says, "Prince Hector, I didn't know your father had passed." And he's like, "Yes, unfortunately." And as the prince stops to talk to Cadmus, the funeral procession continues. And the prince kind of stands there with you. And he says, he's kind of taken in by the presence of a Leonin, a Minotaur, and he's like, "Cadmus, you travel with strange friends. Who are they?" And Cadmus says, "Oh, my village, it's been destroyed. The Marrow have come and attacked us, and these champions, they came and rescued as many of our villagers as they could."
I wouldn't go as far as to call us champions. We were just good men doing what needed to be done was all.
I would.
Okay. He says, "You two," and he points at two of the hoplites. And he says, "You two, take them to the city. Get them set up in town at the inn. Take them to the inn. Get them set up, and I would like you to be my guests at my dinner tonight. And your group can make an insight check."
Right.
How do you do that? One person rolls with advantage. Who is the insight person?
Zermedes, you want to take a crack at? Does Zermedes want to take a crack
I'm
at this?
good at noticing small details, but not people's social habits.
I'm pretty good at that.
Go for it.
Okay.
Take a shot.
Alrighty.
Take a shot, Slick man.
19.
Okay, what? Because you're kind of standing next to Cadmus, and you actually helped everybody get across. So, you kind of get this weird feel because the prince just pointed at a couple of these hoplites, and the hoplites stood there motionless. They lingered a little bit until the bald man with the hooked nose gave them the little nod, and then they leapt into action.
Okay.
And then they come and they say, "Follow us. We'll take you to the inn. We'll get you set up, and then we will show you to the palace once you're set up for the evening's dinner."
I would stay with the procession.
Okay, it's up to you.
I have never seen the end of a king.
I will help the general gathering of the people we have into town.
Okay, you, the champions. This is the prince. Let me introduce myself. I am Prince Hector, and I would appreciate if you would stay with the procession with myself.
It'd be an honor.
Yes.
I look at Zermides. What about you? What do you think of it?
My father would have been rejoiced to meet heroes such as yourself, and I can only do what my father would do. Now, he is handsome, gray, blue eyes, framed by his dark hair and short, dark beard. He wears a deep blue cloth trimmed in silver and embroidered with dolphins.
So he's basically that Hector.
It,
Wonderful.
It hangs loosely about his broad shoulders, a silver circlet on his brow embossed with leaping dolphins. He also has a silver bracelet. Its ends have leaping dolphins. The metal is white against his tanned skin. So yeah, he's eager. Like, yes, stay with me. We'll show my father respect. Let Cadmus and his village go to the inn and rest and recover. But since you were champions and heroes, I would like you to stay with us, and I invite you to my palace for dinner tonight.
That's gracious. Thank you.
One of you said you wanted to stay with the procession anyway.
Yes.
Okay, so do you guys stay with the procession? You stay with Hector? Okay.
I put myself in formation with the other uplights.
And he points at the bald man with the hook nose, and he says, that's Xanthos. He was my father's advisor. He will be my advisor. Don't worry about him. He's harmless. Okay, so if I was to give you an image of these guys, it's only tokens, unfortunately. But I can make it so that you can actually see them.
That actually subverted my expectation.
There we go. Okay, that guy right there, that's Xanthos.
He's clearly evil. Look at him.
Nah, you never know.
I'm sure he's fine.
The Grand Vizier.
Exactly. And that's the prince.
All right.
And I'm not really sure why, but we're gonna I'm gonna play this off, I have a token for the king. It's like,
Dumbledore?
In case he comes back.
in case
Dumbledore!
he gets resurrected. Yeah.
No.
We must wait at the opportune moment.
I won't tell you why I have a token for him. Boop, he's gone. Okay.
He's a ghost.
Was the nondescript nobleman smiling bald?
What, this guy up here?
No, on my mysterious portent. Was the nondescript nobleman bald?
Give me a perception check.
Don't fail me now.
You're
It failed me.
Yeah. There was a white bearded man in the middle. Remember? Had a crown.
Yeah.
And he had his hands over his throat as if he was poisoned.
No, that one I know. The
then-
other two are kind of...
Then there was a younger one. And then there was one with a smile like he is eating candy. So your decision, but they were nondescript, meaning no description. Okay, so you continue on with the funeral. Basically, you walk through town. You basically can learn the various locations of importance, like the Bronze Forge, the Hoplite Barracks, and the Temple of Thessa, and all that. You pick that up as you travel around the village. Dry grass and wildflowers give way to the white sand of the shore. Okay, so they take path 7, okay, down here at the bottom by the palace, which leads to a beach. There is a jetty, or what would you call it? Like a pier, a bunch of rocks piled up out into the ocean, right? So you could walk out into the ocean, right? And at the end of the jetty or the pier or whatever you call that, there is a stone that sticks up. And beside that, on the left and right, is a very small beach. And when I say small, I mean like 10, 20 feet of beach. It's mostly cliff. There's a little bit of sand on the left and right, and then a lot of stones leading straight out to this larger standing stone that's sitting out there. So dry grass and wildflowers give way to the white sand of the shore. Gulls cry, wheeling in the sky overhead. The beach is strewn with fragments of wrecked ships. You see a lot of broken wood, a lot of masts and torn sails and stuff like that. Spars and timber and broken masts lie half buried in the sand. Some have been piled into rough palisades, lashed together with rope. Crude wooden stakes form a spike barrier pointing at the blue water. The priestess wades out into the blue water, quenching the smoke incense in the salt of the sea. She begins a funeral hymn. Hum. Okay. I think I've got a picture of her. I tried to get a picture of everybody. There we go. That's the priestess. Mirny. And she's standing out in the water humming. And she's got a couple of others in the procession that are maybe acolytes or something of the church. But she's the priestess, and she's out there making some ritual noises. You would recognize it as like funeral rites. After about 2 minutes maybe of her doing this, Xanthos says, points at a couple of krakens, and he says, "You, get her out of the water." And they wade out into the water and they grab her and pull her back to the shore.
Forcefully?
Yeah. It is too dangerous to linger here in the water. We must burn him and be done with it. And the king is placed on the driftwood and fragments of wrecked ship that was lashed together by rope. Xanthos gestures, and one of the krakens sets a torch to the pyre. An old soldier steps forward and takes Mirne from the hoplites. His beard and hair are shot with gray. He has the posture of a seasoned warrior.
How's the prince during all this?
Well, after insight roll, I'll let you know. Party insight. Who's rolling it with advantage?
Well, I'm gonna roll it. I asked for it.
Good.
Well,
yeah.
that's not what you're rolling for. That's not what you're rolling for. If it was you, I would say you. I said party.
Alright, I mean, do you want me to roll it again?
Sure.
I'd like to roll it since I want to know what her being in the water is all about.
That's not what
Sure.
you're rolling for.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so instead of
Black goes
advantage-
better.
Alright. +5. Nah.
Okay, 13's fine. You notice the look on the old soldier's face who's taking the priestess from the hoplites. He has unguarded hatred in his eyes as he looks upon Xanthos. And Xanthos is standing there like a satisfied cat.
And that's all I needed to know. Cunning action dash.
No.
What?
Wait, what?
What?
What
Vision
are you
stuff.
doing?
The stake is not in. It's not too dangerous for me yet, the fire.
What are we talking about?
Did they already set the king ablaze?
Yes.
Hmm.
The king is, first of all, he's been dead for a long time, and now he's on fire.
Let me see. It's none of my prerequisites, so yeah. Well, he's on fire. He's not being guarded.
What,
But he
I don't
also-
understand. You're losing something in translation. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try the egg.
Oh.
Okay, so you're going to bust the egg out, right? And then what does it say under the spell?
I need to touch it. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, so he's gone.
He's gone.
He's burnt. It's like touching ashes. What is it? How fast does it have to be used? And does it say it restores body parts? I don't think so.
Also, you don't know how long the king's been dead, so he might have been already rotted. His inside might have already.
I'm gonna double check. It. As long as he didn't die of old age, right? Okay. Cures diseases. Yeah, that's good. And poisons. That's good.
And restores any missing body parts.
Now hold on. We don't know if he had died of old age. We don't know if he just kicked the bucket just cause, so there's that.
I highly doubt it.
Okay. So you want to go swimming out into the ocean. You want to climb on this burning pyre. You want to use the egg on the king.
Well, maybe before it goes too far.
Well, it's already... That's what I'm saying. Right now, if you wanted to leap into action, you would have to swim out into the ocean, climb onto this burning pyre, touch the king, using the egg, which takes an hour.
An hour.
Does it not?
Well, the spell does.
Exactly.
Oh, I thought I just cracked the egg and just...
So you'll be out there for an hour on a burning pyre, touching the king. You can do it. You can do it possibly.
If it's an hour, forget about it.
Okay. I think the fire would burn all the wood probably in less than an hour, but you could be out there and you would probably be burned alive as well.
Also, not to mention you would get in pretty big trouble with Hector and everyone else for stopping the procession.
Right.
Since
It's already been over.
Yeah, since stopping the pyre of a king sounds like a pretty big no-no.
Okay, so he's like, I'm gonna go do it, and you're like, no, that's bad. Don't do that.
Yeah, Rax just grabs him.
The voice of the god. The egg doesn't work like that. My bad.
No,
Okay,
he doesn't have anything you can take, Gallus.
I know. Tell that to Orion.
That's okay.
Also-
But that's all right. The thought was all that counts, right? So
Also, Gallus, I'm pretty sure you would piss off a lot of people here by interfering with a king's pyre.
And a vizier's plot.
You don't know that, right?
I can presume that.
Right. So he's guilty or whatever because you had some kind of dream?
I had a vision.
Well...
And he looked very pleased with himself while the king burning.
Okay, good. So I'm glad my dream convinced you that he's evil. Because not always what you see in your dreams come from who you think they are.
First of all, when you said that, I'm like, oh, the man smiling is definitely the prince. Then he's quite charming. I'm like, oh.
If you're saying all this, Rex is gonna look at you like you're crazy. Perhaps you've taken too many blows to the head.
The sun is hot.
You don't believe in, the voice of the gods speaking to us?
I do, however...
God, no S.
However, we
There's more
don't
than
know
one.
everything. And I would rather we not do anything that could get us in trouble with everyone here.
Unless there's a quick miracle, I would agree with that.
So Gallus, unless you know for certain beyond the voices of the gods telling you that this vizier is evil, we can't exactly act on it, or otherwise we risk falling out of what little theory we do have with everyone, and potentially angering Prince Hector as well.
I don't know.
Now that you mention it, the prince doesn't look very sad.
I believe there is some wisdom in Gallus's words, though they come from a strange source. Rich people are always evil. That's why they do not hunt for themselves.
Greasy black smoke from the damp wood pluming into the dark sky. Hector's face is impassive, and he leans over and says, "My father ruled Illos with wisdom and strength for over 100 years, beloved by his people.
For how long?
What?
Leandros and his kin carry the blood of the lost Skylian in our veins. Though human, our eyes are blue of the Skylian elves." And you can see it in his face now that he looks like he has elven blood. "I will show you hospitality in my father's stead. Come to the morning feast tonight in the Palace of the Dolphins." The procession breaks up after a few minutes, and people start going about their business. You can see that there's probably about 30 or 40 people. They're all kind of sad, you know. They're, but it's more than that. It's just kind of looking. It's more than grief. It is. Let me see if I can tell you. They're not only mourning, but they're also half-starved and terrified. You get that? You can without a roll, you can kind of tell that.
Prince Hector, if it's not too rude of me to ask, how long ago was it before your father passed away?
Last night.
I'm very sorry. My condolences.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So, I mean, you didn't know him, but he would have loved to have met you.
In fact, we did come here to help with a quest of his before he had passed away concerning someone important had gone missing. That's what it led us here.
Are you speaking of my sister?
Correct.
We can talk about that at the feast.
Of course, I didn't mean to bother you about this. I just...
No, I understand. I'm aware of the situation, so we can talk about it at the feast if you want.
That sounds great.
Bring your friends. They look capable.
All right.
And then he walks off, unescorted. And Xanthos, with his Kraken hoplites, walk off.
I'm guessing the uplight.
And the priestess walks away with her acolytes.
Yeah, the uplights don't look starved, do they?
No, they look strong and healthy, and they're warrior types.
Now, do we get the sense that the meal is like right now?
No,
Okay.
within an hour or two, probably, because it is late in the evening. Not in the evening, but I mean it's.
Yep.
It's going to be soon, but not right away.
I'd like to chase after the priestess and the old soldier.
Okay.
Because obviously they were very noticeably not up to the standard par for a funeral procession. And other things going weird, and I figure a fellow follower of the gods would be a good source of information.
You can catch up to her at the temple.
Okay, that's...
What about the old soldier?
He's with her.
I would like to go along with Lycos, because I want to know why she's not in the middle of the sea, just standing right along there.
Say that again, because I hear a lot of noise when you talk.
I was wanting to go with Lycos to ask and see why it was she was out in the middle of the sea, just standing there.
Okay, so you're gonna follow along, right? I got you.
Yeah, I'll follow along also.
All right,
Zermates,
right,
same thing.
Tell everyone.
I will follow the group. I'm torn between which NPC I want to follow, so I'll just go where they're going.
Okay.
It is strange that the priestess was not allowed to continue her work to her satisfaction. As I understand, funeral rites are important.
Yes.
And also strange that the prince has no guards.
Yes, you are...
It is my understanding that a prince always has guards.
Your observations seem true. Those are the same feelings I have upon seeing this. Something is definitely amiss.
Also, I found it weird that the old soldier was so angry with the priestess.
No, he was angry at
Yeah.
I believe he was mad that the priestess was interrupted.
Yeah, he was mad at Xelos.
Yeah, I don't see a reason why the old soldier would have been angry with her. As from what I would guess, she was doing so in the name of the king.
He had a look of anger at Xanthos.
Xanthos.
Okay.
The hook-nosed man. Not at the priestess. He came to the priestess's aid. When the hoplites grabbed her and yanked her out of the water, he came over there to hold her up and help her. Okay, so you get to an outcropping of the White Cliffs. There's a circular temple, a ring of white columns supporting a green bronze dome. Open to the wind and the spray of the sea, inside a marble statue of Thessa, the sea goddess, stands on a stone dais, looking out over the sea.
I bow my head.
At her feet, a bronze basin holds a sacred flame, visible to ships coming towards the shore. In one hand, she holds a trident upright like a staff, weathered and nearly black. The other forms a hollow fist, as if it once held something. And she is there, and she realizes that you were following her. And she stands in front of the temple waiting for your approach.
I act as if I was merely here to pray to my goddess.
Okay.
I'll walk up and greetings, priestess. We're strangers to this town, and things seem unusual in the midst of the king's death, and just was curious. Could you help us understand what is going on.
She looks around as if trying to determine if you are followed. She glances into the bushes and the trees. She looks down the path. She looks back into the temple. She looks around the columns. She really is very vigilant about her surroundings. And she says, in a whisper, I am afraid.
That much,
Of Xanthos and his cult of Kraken worshippers.
The Kraken.
If I may ask, why do they worship such a thing?
Well, the Kraken is one of the Titans. But if you speak up against him, you will be next to be sacrificed.
all right.
It's a cult.
Yep.
One way we have to restore faith in Hector.
And how would we do that?
Yeah, the guards are loyal
Well,
to Xanthos, not him.
I don't know you.
I understand. We are simply travelers who are coming at the call of your king to find his daughter, the Oracle.
Perhaps returning the Oracle in the name of Hector would grant some confidence in him.
Are you here to seek out the daughter?
That
Yes.
was the path that most of us were on.
Alexandra?
Yes.
If that is her name,
It is.
I remember only Human Girl.
Well, I don't know if I should share this with you. I don't know you. I mean,
Is there some
you show up in the
you can
village.
give us?
You show up in the village, you're all chummy with Xandros, and then you follow me to my temple and you inquire about, what's going on in town. I don't know if I can trust you. What makes me think I can trust you?
Which one is Xandros again?
He is the
advisor.
old man with the hook nose. And
I do not recall being friendly with him.
If anything, he seemed rather quick to want us out of his way. So, we honestly want nothing to do with him and would like to see the Oracle returned here as quickly as possible.
She begins casting a spell.
The soldier?
The priestess?
Yeah, did I say?
I heard he.
Yeah, I did hear he as well.
Okay. It's she.
Alright.
My money's on
dang.
Truth or Fireball.
Could be Fireball.
Could be.
Okay, hang on. She's casting a clerical spell. It's obviously a clerical spell. You being a cleric yourself, you recognize the spell as augury.
Yep, I let it
And she's
happen.
praying to Thessa, and she says, Thessa, can I trust these people? And from the statue, you hear, yes.
Is it the same voice?
No, just a voice.
No, the
A
same
woman's
voice.
voice.
That you're in here.
A woman's voice coming from the statue says, yes. And she's like, thank you. Okay. Now I know I can trust you. And so, the sword of Illos. And she points at the statue where it has a hand, a clenched fist, which is missing something. If you can find and return the sword of Illos, it would help restore the people's faith in the prince, Hector, and their goddess, Thessa.
What is the sword of Illos?
Oh, it was the first sword. It was the sword of the first king, passed down through the generations.
Oh.
But in Hector's grandfather's time, it was lost in battle to King Paracelsus, a warlord who sought to conquer the Ithian coast. Legend tells that Paracelsus' tomb lies to the east in the pine forest of the Trident's southern bifurcation. Seeing the fabled blade restored to the temple of Thessa would kindle hope among the people of Illos, and Hector himself. As a reward, I can offer you an Ithian sail, woven with the magic of wind and sea.
That sounds like
What was the king the king's name who has the sword? Probably King A. something?
Paracelsus.
Paracelsus.
Paracelsus. Okay.
Paselis.
Paracelsus.
Paracelsus, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, taking a quick detour to the regional map.
So we seek a sword and a child.
If you zoom in
I see.
to
Yep.
Aurea's wood, that's where she points.
It won't take long to get to it all.
Yep.
It is rumored to be there in a tomb in the woods.
Well, then I think that's where we're going.
So,
Well,
after we
tonight
get them talking
we should-
and look east, we
Yes.
head out in the morning.
yes, we should talk to Hector, for that is when we're going to find out more about his sister.
And I would suggest we do so out of ear and eyesight of Xanthos.
Oh, yes, perhaps the sister's rescue should go first, as she's more vulnerable than a long-lost sword.
Well, we don't.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can even find out about the sister.
And
But, yeah,
if you ever need any help from a first level cleric, you could come to the temple and I will gladly help
Alright.
you with like 1 or 2 cure light wounds.
But
Yeah, she is.
And thank you.
She's an acolyte. She's not even a cleric. She's like level 0 cleric.
Perhaps returning
She's
the
a
sword.
Thessa fangirl.
Yeah. Well, she tends to the temple.
Perhaps returning the sword would allow Hector some measure of protection as we search for his sister and lay better groundwork for her return. It would be a shame to bring her back only for her to disappear.
And find a home that is vastly different. I think we need more information on the nature of the sister's kidnap and where it might lead.
Okay, so she's got to be higher than level 0 because she's got more than 5 hit points.
I agree, Lycos.
All right, let us head to the feast.
I would
But
say
you
she
said
is a
morning feast.
first level spellcaster.
Yeah, we were also told it was about an hour. So
But that is not the morning.
is that not the morning feast, as in not the time of day, but you know, the action that you do when someone is dead?
Morning
Oh, I
or
see.
morning?
I'm not familiar with all the customs around this region, but I do believe I was told that it was an hour when the feast
It has
was
been quite some time since I've spoken with anybody other than my own shadow. I forget some words sound the same.
Yes.
He did say morning.
Morning or morning.
Yeah.
But DM, it was you're told it was happening soon, right?
After dark, right after dark.
All right. So
Like sundown.
if we're done here,
Yeah, it's pretty
down.
close to you. It's the sun is going over the horizon, so it's
It doesn't
almost time.
sound- Yeah, it doesn't sound the same in Greek though.
nope.
That's well, okay. I can give you that. Yeah, he said morning as in a funeral.
Alright.
Knew it.
We're not Saxons here.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. That sounds good. Good call. Give you DM inspiration for that.
Yay!
Nice.
Mark that on your character sheet.
All right, let's hurry up.
So you're gonna head back to the palace
We'll head to the palace.
to make sure that you don't miss the feast. Okay.
Yep.
So there's really nothing else on this side of the river. You got the temple. You've got some houses, and they're mostly for artisans or carpenters, fishermen, pearl sailors, and it looks like you would think that they have these black fabric over their windows for mourning the king's death or whatever, but it also kind of seems like it's to respect the Krakens. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, so you're not sure, but probably to mourn the king. But it just seems strange that Xanthos is also wearing black. Okay, so you get to number 6, the Palace of the Dolphins. The Palace of the Dolphins crowns the headland atop the white cliffs above the sea. Blue pillars open into a great hall where feast tables flank a stone channel filled with warm coals and roasting meats. The summer air is warm and large braziers burn between the pillars, the firelight reflecting on gold and bronze. Okay, that's what you can see through the open doors. As you enter the palace, you are greeted by a servant, a cultist loyal to Xanthos. Let me grab some tokens just so I can have you guys visualize what you're looking at. Maybe I should do this from the fishing village. That looks good. So we got Gallus. Not Orion. He's gone to the inn because he's feeling ill. We got Arcos.
While you're doing that,
Raxus, and
the tokens in the fishing village at the start, I couldn't see their health. But the ones on the main screen, I could.
The tokens as in the players?
Yes.
Okay.
I could only see mine.
Terrible.
I blame poor flossing habits.
Sad. Anyway.
Are you a cleric?
No.
I'm not going to tell you then.
Okay, that's fine.
So who's going in first and greeting this cultist?
I can see them here.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a cultist standing in the doorway basically asking you, he's stopping you.
Yep.
The more normal of the group will
Well, right first.
Yeah.
make good first impression.
He goes, "Oh, you're coming into the presence of the prince. You must surrender your weapons before entering this sacred hall.
I look at
Your
the
weapons
other
will be
uprights.
safe." And he points at a door to his left, which is your right. We will keep them in this room here in the guard quarters. And then he gestures to a small trunk. The room is filled with racks of spears and shields hung on the wall.
Yep. I will.
You would not
Go ahead.
pardon old man his walking stick, would you?
Hmm.
No, okay.
I was thinking weapons are part of my religion, but that's my Star Wars game.
I will. Now, is it that I'm giving him my weapons, or am I going over and putting them on the rack and in the trunk?
Well, one of the hoplites will grab all your weapons and go put it in the trunk.
Alright.
Alright.
May I?
Because I don't know if you
keep
can see all the people in this room, but
Yeah.
there is a few hoplites standing. What I did
Yep.
was I removed all the dynamic lighting of the pillars because it made it impossible to see anything in the room. So there are
Yep.
pillars, but
Oh, not in the room pillars. Okay.
yeah, the in the room pillars. There's they're in every other square. So it
Yep,
made it hard to see anything. So
So I got my spear and I guess.
well, if you have like a dagger or something, that's fine. But yeah, they're talking about your spears and
Okay.
and your shield.
Yeah, I was more
I don't have
thinking
a
that.
shield.
Okay.
Yeah, I relinquish everything, but I asked, may I keep my shield?
Nope.
So they're willing to.
You're
let
not
me
going to
use
eat with your
dagger.
shield. That's being ridiculous.
I
I look at the other uplights.
They're not
grab
eating,
my
they're
rope-
standing on guard. You do what?
I'm gonna grab the rope off my bag and tie together my various javelins, spear, trident.
So you're going to make like a
lots of long
bundle.
sticky things.
Going to make
Yeah,
a bundle. Okay.
so that my stuff stays together.
Perfect. They
I'll
don't
hand 'em
that's perfectly understandable.
Alright,
It's just more
so I
convenient than like
understand-
8 sticks.
Just so I got the information clear, you said they're not going to take the dagger, but they just want like the spear and shields and big weapons.
Correct.
All right. So I'll keep
The
my-
dagger is for eating.
Yeah, you can use the dagger to cut
That's
the
my
whatever.
knife.
Just
Cut the
checking.
olives.
So yeah, I'm
And they're
handing
looking
over
at
my
you,
spear.
Raxus.
I'll give them my spear and shield.
Yeah,
And,
What do I
and,
do about
and
my
whatever
put them-
swords you have. I don't know. You guys don't really carry swords, right?
Nope, that's all I had on me.
Okay.
I
No, that's
look
a
at
very
my
ineffective weapon.
I look at my hands and extend my claws and I go, "What do I do about these? Must I wear gloves?"
They look at you like you're retarded. And they look at each other and they point at you and they go, they go, "Foreigners."
Because you were a monk,
Okay,
I thought,
so-
what about these weapons?
Yeah, so over here on the right corner or whatever is a bunch of your weapons sticking out of a chest. Because they don't really have... there you go. I marked it on my map.
I'll have
Yeah,
to
and
look
then
at that.
the cultist steps to the side and says, "Come on in." What you see is Hector sits on a carved stone throne at the table's head. To his right sits the bald-headed advisor Xanthos, his eyes accentuated in sweeps of gold and black. The floor is mosaic depicting 3 dolphins leaping in a ring. 4 hoplites bearing kraken shields guard the entrance to the hall. Two musicians sit on wooden stools, softly playing a lyre and double flute. That's these guys up here on the right.
I was just about to ask what's Bill and Ted doing there.
Yep.
They're, you know, they've been traveling through time. They're here.
Yeah.
Okay. So a double flute, huh? That's this guy. If you're interested, an Aeolus. One of them is playing that, and the other one is playing a lyre, which we all know is just another name for a harp. Okay.
Awesome, dude.
Right, and well, they're not saying anything. They're just playing, and that's the music you hear in the background. Okay, two musicians sit on wooden stools, double flute. Okay, the walls of the main hall are painted with rich murals, stylized warriors battling monsters, kings and queens hunting and painting ships upon the blue seas. They are the prophecies of all of Illos' oracles from across the ages, recorded upon the very walls. A cloth hangs over the most recent, unfinished panels of the mural. One depicts islands and ruins rising from the sea. The next, seemingly damaged, depicts a dolphin in the tentacled grasp of a kraken. The final panel depicts a golden-eyed serpent coiled around a trident, fangs bared, ready to strike.
That's not ominous at all.
Yeah.
And Hector waves you forward to have a seat.
I'll take my seat.
Okay, there are seats. There are tables. Move.
I'll approach.
Yep,
Thank
that
you,
is
Hector.
like a little fountainish water puddle thing. It's got water flowing through it. There are 3 seats on the right and 2 on the left next to Xanthos.
Alright, I will take a seat here.
Once Raxus gets out of my way, the cultist will resume his guard post. There we go, thank you. Okay.
You're clearly such a cultist.
It's a last name, come on.
Yeah, you can't. These are columns that go floor to ceiling. Okay, these gray circles. Just so you know. Even though you can move through them, you technically can't. And then there's these 4 kids on the left side that are servers. They're bringing food in from the outside. This is a door on. There's doors on the left and right here. There's also. Okay, let me see what you guys can see actually, because you might not be able to see all this. Okay, yeah, you can see there's a couple of There's a couple of carpets, rugs, that lead up to these 2 side doors next to these statues. Yeah, and so you guys are sitting there, and the servants are bringing terracotta amphora of wine, decorated with black and orange scenes of life by the sea. A supplement of roasting ox on the fire. There is hard bread, softened by olive oil and herbs. Seafood is notably lacking from this meal. This meal seems to be a meager thing for these fine halls. It is clear that Illos is suffering from some kind of famine or something. Strange happenings in the sea. And Hector's like, oh, I am so glad that you guys could join us for my final meal.
As prince. As
Final
prince. Right?
Why your final meal, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, well, I am to be sacrificed in the morning.
For, if you don't mind the question,
For the hard times that my people are suffering, we have to appease Thessa, and we have to, and my father would do everything in his power to help the village, the town, the city, the people. So I must do my part, and I will be sacrificed in the morning.
And this comes at the word of the priestess of Thessa that is serving here? The need for your sacrifice?
No, my advisor here has advised me to do this. He's given me the insight that I needed to end the curse.
Could I roll an insight to see if he's saying this of his own volition, or is he being forced to say this?
There's not really a die roll required.
Okay, because this sounds real.
Sounds shady? Does it sound shady?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's sitting right next to Xanthos. Xanthos is sitting right next to him, listening to every word that he says.
I'm listening to this. I look at the yet not unfinished mural and then at Xanthos. And I resume my
He's stuffing his face.
Of course he is.
Drinking wine. He's drinking lots of wine.
And tell me, Prince.
Out of amphora, which is...
Wow, okay.
Yeah, these are amphora.
Tell me. Right.
Really going to town, alright.
Yeah. Tell me, Prince Hector, is your advisor here an ordained person of any god, if I may ask?
Well, Thessa, of course. I mean, everyone in the village worships Thessa.
All right. I was just wanting to ask.
Yeah, and even if he wasn't, even if he was, say, a god of... Even Athena would understand sacrifice.
Sure. I just was curious if there was a specific reasoning for. You said he gave you insight. I'm curious. And I'll look to Xanthos.
Yeah, and Xanthos looks at you, and you can see that he's got fire burning in his eyes. Hatred.
Yep. Where did you receive this insight?
Oh, I had a vision. He's lying.
We all had those.
You all know he's lying.
Yeah, because some of us actually have visions.
Everyone in the world has visions.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called eyes.
You just think you're special.
I don't want to be. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah. Anywho. Yeah. So. Yeah. I don't see why you're challenging this. I mean, this is a normal occurrence across the land. You make sacrifices.
What was that?
I have no idea. But you make sacrifices to appease your god, so that if your god is Thessa, then you need to appease her. And
Sure.
there's no... Now, if the princess was here, she would be a better choice. But since she's... Whoops.
We were just curious as, without Prince Hector here, if he is to be sacrificed...
I just crashed, I think.
You did.
Then who is going to lead Illos as... There must be someone who's going to lead.
Oh, well, since the princess is no longer here, and the king just died, and the prince would be sacrificed, I guess I would have to take over.
That's Hector saying this?
No, Xanthos said that.
Alright.
So what you're saying is something only you know.
So let's not talk
means-
about Hector says, let's not talk about this. Let's talk about what heroic deeds you guys have done.
Fair.
Well,
So
we
who can
ain't-
tell me of a heroic deed?
Well, we've just come back from saving these people from what would have been a horrible, horrible siege of Marrow that would have spread even further had we not stopped them.
Oh, yeah. Well, Cadmus was telling me all about that. But since you're great warriors, I figured you'd have more than just that one tale.
Hmm.
Was there anything else? Any other heroic deeds?
Yes, you see, just after meeting the Minotaur here, we set out on the road for Illos and happened upon a manticore feasting upon an ox.
A manticore.
Yes, and
I haven't seen one of those.
we decided it was best to put the foul beast to an end.
Oh,
It had
yeah.
the face of a man, the body of a lion, great bat wings, and a spiked tail. And I pulled a couple of the spikes out of my satchel.
He reaches out for you to hand him a spike.
I will give him one. It
Um,
launched these from its tail like arrows
You
from a bow.
you are like 20 feet away from him.
Oh, so I am.
So you want to pass it down the line?
Yeah.
You can do that. You can just pass it down like
I'll
sugar
pass it around the table.
or like the salt or whatever. Okay, so you pass it down and he finally gets it and he looks at it and he goes, "Oh, this is so cool." He's like he's examining it, right? Yeah, it's like, "This is awesome. I've never seen anything like this." And then a nervous servant steps up to Xanthos. He spills some wine from the pitcher. Xanthos' face, twisted with rage, says, "Boy, put your hand right there." And the boy follows orders and puts his hand on the table. And then Xanthos draws a dagger from his belt.
I stand up.
You stand
Doesn't
up.
that seem harsh for spilled wine? It was a simple mistake.
Okay, he's rearing back like he's gonna stab the boy in the hand.
I'd like to stand up and look at. For example, it's like,
I
No.
yank the boy.
now hold on a sec. Now hold
I'm
on.
not gonna block him because
Okay,
that would
so-
seem more.
So Gallus, you grab the kid and like pull him away so he can't get his hand jabbed into the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
So-
thinking of blocking. No, that's aggressive.
Okay. So
Yank
you
the kid.
right. So you grab the kid out of the way, and he stabs the table where the hand was, and he looks at you like,
Last time I
How
checked,
how
yeah,
dare
it's-
you? He doesn't say this, but he looks at you like, how dare you interfere with his meting out punishment to these common servants or whatever.
Gallus,
Now hold on.
this
This
is not
seems
our
like-
home, Gallus. We do not know what the rules are here.
A child
Hector
stays a
Hector
child.
Hector speaks up and says, "That's enough, Xanthos. You've scarred the boy half to death. It's just wine.
It was just a.
Pour
exactly,
your
it was a
own
mistake.
wine."
Just a simple mistake.
And Hector pours his wine on the floor.
See, everyone makes a simple mistake.
Okay.
Nothing to
So-
be worried about.
Okay, so the boy goes back to serving you, and the rest of the evening is uneventful. other than you're eating and trying to get information out of them that they are unwilling to share with you in the presence of other people. And so Xanthos leaves and goes to his room.
When the
and Hector retires to the outside.
Yeah, when the kid serves me, I'm gonna give him a small pearl for his trouble.
Okay, how much is that pearl worth?
No, that tiny pearl, 5 gold piece.
Okay, so you give him that pearl, he takes it, and you see that he starts to cry. With physical tears.
I fear our interference may simply bring him more trouble in the future.
He tucks the pearl into his trousers, which is more like a skirt. But yeah, he has pants on. They're short, like just below the knee, cutoffs. But he puts the pearl inside the belt lining, and
tell him May Tessa protects you, child.
Thank you, my lord.
I'm not gonna correct him.
And then this little bubble appears over his head. The boy will remember this.
I would like to follow Hector out.
Okay, so go follow him. He's outside.
Saying, "Be excellent to each other." It's a villain Ted as I.
You can just walk out there. You can just put yourself next to him. I just want to see what you guys are going to do.
Catch up.
Also, if there's no one, Zermedes, I would like to wait until we're in better privacy to say what I need to. I give Zermedes a look of it's concerning Prince Hector's meeting with a kraken.
Okay, so the servants have all left, right? Because the prince and the advisor have basically disappeared. So the servants have gone. So let me go ahead and just get rid of them. And the musicians look over at you and can they leave? Okay, they leave. And the hoplites are on the other, and the cultists are all on the other side of the room, basically not paying attention. They're just, talking about, the girls in town or whatever. They're not really bothering or listening. So if you guys want to have a private conversation at the table, you can. And then Lycos and Hector, you can have a private conversation on the outside. So let's do this. Let's have that little private conversation on the inside first. And then we'll do Lycos here in just a second. Okay, so make it
Zermedes?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I assume you're whispering in a way where the hoplites can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally whispering to Zermedes and keeping this quiet between us.
Okay.
So, Zermedes, what exactly do we do now, considering that Prince Hector is to be sacrificed in the morning? That very much changes everything that we're going to do.
When he says that, I say out loud, the young man.
This means we have two obvious choices to make. Mm-hmm. Either we bring the girl and or the sword back before the morning, or the prince has been unguarded all day. I doubt they would guard him tonight. Maybe put a watch to keep him from running away. Perhaps we sneak into his room, knock him out, and take him with us to find these things. So we can keep an eye on him.
If Hector himself returns with the sword, I bet...
And his sister.
Yes.
And his sister. I bet hope will be restored at least 3 times the amount of what would normally achieve just a bunch of...
That does require kidnapping a prince, though, which I understand is frowned upon.
Well, considering that it's either we kidnap a prince and help stop sacrifices to a kraken, versus allowing this town to get sacrificed down to the last man, woman, and child to a monster of the seas, I say that no offense to Hector, but he's going to have to go on a field trip with us to go save his sister and reclaim the sword.
It occurs to me, perhaps, given that the goddess Thessa apparently spoke to the priestess to say that we should be trusted, perhaps we could convince her to make an announcement saying that she's had a vision that the prince must come with us to do these things. If the word comes from the goddess of the sea, whom they're trying to appease, then perhaps we could convince Hector, at the very least.
Yeah.
And
Hector is under Xanthos' thumb.
And Xanthos could not protest this without admitting that he lied.
That is a very sound plan, as it's either he confers to it and goes along with Hector going on this quest in the name of Thessa, or he risks losing favor with the people of Illos. So,
considering he said it was a vision from Thessa.
And to go against Dorda, Thessa herself would be heresy, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
So, perhaps we could tell the priestesses to further challenge Xanthos on it if he goes against it, of him bringing potential heresy on himself. After all, we get to stay with the people. A heretic would be starving the people or to feed himself and his wants and needs instead of the people. I mean, the advisor should be advising the prince to help his people, not be sacrificed when his own people still need help.
Is that a good breaking spot in the conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's jump outside to Lycos and Hector himself. And he's out there looking up at the stars. Pillars stand open to the night sky and the stars, roofed only in places by a canopy of fine silks. The stones bear worn carvings of men and beasts and gods. Faded blues and reds whisper in the rich painting they must have once borne. Between them are braziers where amber and incense burn. The smoke coiled. Okay. You can hear the waves crashing against the cliffs. Moonlight cast a shimmering path along the water out in the ocean. And Hector is standing there staring out over the sea and looking up at the stars. And you approach him.
All right. King Hector. I think there is one thing that we have not spoken about tonight. And as you have said it's your last, I figured only fitting to see if we can't find some answers, as it was your father's wish to find Alexandria, the Oracle. You even said yourself that she might make a fitting sacrifice for this situation. Is this not something that we can look into for the time of sacrifice, or push the sacrifice off a little farther,
My father would have given his life for our people. And since tomorrow is the day of the way the stars and the constellations align, it must be tomorrow. So,
Okay.
I must do my best in his stead.
I understand. But do you even keep this, desire to have your sister found?
Oh, yes. I
Okay.
wish she was here with me to witness my sacrifice.
Do you have any information as to the nature and the happenings around her disappearance?
No, I don't know anything about what happened. If I did, I would be out there hunting her down, searching for her, rescuing her, whatever I needed to do. But that's moot anyway. I mean, even if I knew I couldn't do anything about it, I would just, because I have to be here tomorrow morning.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
So
Xanthos has promised me that it is the best course of action.
Well then, do you know how far the tomb of, might butcher this, Vasilis? No. What was the Persian king or who would have the sword of Illos? How far away was that? Did we know?
I showed you on the map.
It's
Yeah.
about a half day's walk.
Half day.
Or 3 days walk.
What hex?
1, 2, 3, 4 hexes as the crow flies.
Alright, so not something we could just go do in a night.
You could get there in a day, maybe. You might be able to get there in a day.
Yeah, I was gonna hope to do one appeal of valor and have him go on this quest to reclaim the sword for his.
Now, if you have a ranger in your party that has woods as its favored terrain, you could get there as in 4 hexes.
Yeah, but
But since you don't, it would be 8 hexes.
so that would be quite some time, and he's very intent on dying in the morning.
You can make an insight roll.
Okay. Only 11.
Yeah, so your 11 lets you know he doesn't want to die,
Yep.
right? But he's doing it for the people because he
Yeah.
was told that was the best thing to do.
Yep. Well, as a cleric, I give him the best advice I can offer. You follow Thessa.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would suggest that you tonight, go and, talk to Thessa, the priestess, the acolytes, one last time. Just to, see if the goddess has anything to say to you specifically before you do your sacrifice.
I've been talking to her for weeks now. Every day, almost every hour. I've been praying. She's been giving me advice.
Directly to you, or?
The priestess, yeah.
Alright.
Mirny has been giving me advice that not to be afraid and try to be try to be a good prince and all that.
Okay.
And just with my father's death, she hasn't really been able to give me any advice about my sacrifice.
Well,
She's refused to speak up against Xanthos.
I have noticed a lot of people are timid against such a...
Yeah, the daily
I apologize.
sacrifices has not really brought the people around to him.
No. And it seems he is rather cruel, if you don't mind me saying so. Not even just at, the dinner here, but interrupting the priestess, getting your father prepared in that ceremony there. It seems like he is a very voracious man, willing to devour the resources here, not take care of its people. Doesn't seem the qualities of a leader, but not my place. But I would say, definitely go seek, advice and
Well, there's no time. It's in the morning. I'm going to be extra.
well, I know, but as a prince, you can talk to the priestess and the gods whenever. So it's not like you have no time. Again, I would urge you to do that and seek. And
What am I to
That's it.
ask? What kind of result am I looking for?
well, I have to say
Forgiveness?
from-
For my sins?
No, I don't necessarily think
A
that
quick
is the
death?
case.
Why would I need to go to the priestess and get her to... What is she going to tell me? Why would I need to talk to her? What are you trying to get me to do? I don't
Well,
understand.
the thing that I don't understand, being a stranger here,
Okay, I understand.
is
You're
that-
from afar.
is that your advisor has the vision from your goddess,
Mm-hmm.
and yet your priestess does not. That doesn't seem, like a way that I would understand the gods to reach out. So, being a stranger here and seeing the coarseness of your advisor, it doesn't seem like he is one to get a message from a goddess. It seems like they have different points of view. That's all.
Okay. So
Again.
what kind of end result are you looking for?
One, just so that, maybe you're being misled and your goddess can speak to you. And if not, then you know for certain that this is the way and there's no reason to deviate course.
If you want, you can make a persuasion check. If you have any way to make a modifier very, very, very large, I would do that.
The only modifier I can give is guidance.
That's not true. I'm gonna
Well, I
refer
mean,
to earlier party die rolls.
Sure, but that's if I am in a party. I am by myself at the moment.
I know, but that doesn't mean you can't go run out there and say, "Hey, come out here and
I mean,
talk to this guy for me."
I mean, by the time I would assume that after Zermaze and I have finished talking, that we would have left the building.
You guys are still talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
My bad.
Yeah, these are going simultaneously.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, if because I know that he's interested in the champions and stories of valor, I'll just say I'm sure that my companions here who have, faced great odds, might have something else to say or to.
Okay, I'm willing to listen.
Yeah, so let me go grab my companions.
Okay, so I'm just gonna assume that you go run inside. You say, "Hey,
Yeah.
come outside with me," and that cuts off your inside conversation, and then you guys go run outside with them.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's no worries. And he's still
then,
out there, just kind of letting the food settle, and finishing off his little bowl of wine.
And I'll kind of
So
restate.
Raxus
everything.
and Zermates are staying inside?
Oh, sorry.
I'll go out as well.
Okay.
I have the wrong thing.
So is somebody a really good persuader? Because this number is astronomically high, is what I'm trying to say.
I got.
I am not.
I got a +4 in my persuasion.
So I was going to say, whoever's got the best, you could guide them and roll advantage, and we'll see if you get this number that is in the high digits.
And on our way back out, can I say a prayer to my goddess to give guidance?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can give one of them guidance. Whoever's the one that's going to do the talking.
I have 3.
I mean, I'll go for it.
Okay, so
So
Raxus, who stayed inside, I'll pull you outside. Yeah,
I
so
can intimidate.
No. This is
that probably won't work. So Raxus is going to roll with guidance and advantage. We're looking for persuasion. If you have DM inspiration, now would be the time to use it. But no, okay, it's all right.
And roll a d4.
He can't make it with a 17.
Okay.
Okay.
19.
Yeah, so you got a 19, and he says, "You have valid arguments, but I've known Xanthos my entire life. He's been my king's advisor. I don't think I can go against him. You guys are all heroes, but if something doesn't change by the morning, I'm going to have to sacrifice myself. Good night. I'm going to bed." And then he goes to bed.
Hector,
I'm gonna go grab my weapons.
No, I was going to ask Hector. Hector.
He's
The
walking
only thing
away.
I-
He's walking away from you, so you're talking at his back. But go ahead.
I want to ask him. I want to run to ask him one thing.
Yeah, one thing.
Hector, if Xanthos cares so much for the people, how come he has never, not once, offered himself or done anything as an alternative besides sacrifice? Because as your advisor, he should have known that if nothing has changed from these daily sacrifices, that something has not worked. That there should have been something that needs to be done, or to have reached out to the other states for help.
Okay,
And
that
yet he
was
has done-
a very good 19 roll. That was what you said to him. You rolled a 19. That's what
Yes.
you got. Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I hear you. You're making valid points. I want to believe you, but this man has been my family's advisor for as long as I've been born and alive, and I'm not going against him. My father trusted him. I'm obligated to trust him. I wish we didn't have to do sacrifices, but I don't know the ways of the gods as well as some others. And if you ask him directly, he would probably tell you that you don't always sacrifice. You don't always sacrifice the what am I trying to say? It's not always obvious who is supposed to be sacrificed. So it is sometimes a hit or miss. It might be a miss on me, but we got to try it. And then he goes to bed.
Fine.
Okay, so the guards allow you to get all your gear back, and they hand it off to you. And, they basically, you can tell that they just go and they, once all the dignitaries have left, they go finish off whatever scraps are at the table and whatever wine is left over and stuff like that. And it looks like they're probably going to be sleeping in this room as guards or whatever. But they don't look like they're really eager to do anything in the room, if that makes sense.
Let's go get that damn sword.
Far ways away.
Okay, so you guys are outside the temple or the palace, right? And you guys can have any kind of discussion you want and do any activities you want. It is a little, probably 9+ o'clock. It's not. It's after dinner, right? And a conversation. So I'm going to say around 9-ish, something like that. Are there any plans?
So, what do we do now?
Well,
I believe that means we must kidnap the prince and bring him with us.
he's not going to be willing. That's for sure. Has his mindset on this. He doesn't even.
Well,
That's why he said kidnapped.
I get that.
what he has his mindset on is listening to a gluttonous madman and doing his people to extermination.
I understand that.
Well, the only solution then is for him to not be here.
That's not going to change much other than his attitude towards us. Because unless us kidnapping him, taking him somewhere else, magically makes this place better.
Or unless we somehow gain the power to kill the beast they're sacrificing him to, then.
Or the advisor.
Well, what I had suggested to Raxus before you came to get us was, since the advisor is insisting that this is the will of Thessa, perhaps we can convince the actual priestess of Thessa to lie on our behalf. Since she was told by the goddess she could trust us, she may be willing to help us in this way. We could have her say that she received a vision from the goddess, saying that Hector must accompany us to retrieve the sword, if they are to break the problems on this city.
I think that's a fair try, but lying about your goddess's message is not something that's going to just happen.
No,
to be
she
fair,
only
the
hates
goddess
it when.
said to trust us.
Yeah, she only hates it when we lie to her, not about her.
And the thing is, we're doing this in the interest of the people who need something right now.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but for myself, if I was told to lie about my goddess's message, that's not something I would do. So,
Well, considering
I'm fine
how
talking and seeing, because maybe the goddess will actually grant that message to the priestess.
it may be,
I don't think that's how gods work.
I'm sure you don't think that's how gods work, but
it may bold me to
That's my
assume this, but I don't think Thessa would have much of a problem with us doing this, considering that what the advisor is doing. Since
Well, rather than debate whether
Let's
the
walk
priestess
over.
would do it or not, why don't we just ask her?
Yes.
that sounds
I'm
good.
not opposed
like-
to asking. I'm just not gonna hold my
Force it
breath
on
for
her.
it.
We already know the answer if we ever need to ask you this question.
Yes.
That is good to know.
Let's.
Okay, so you guys are going to journey over to the
Yeah.
Temple of Thessa and find the priestess?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so you find her sleeping at the foot of the statue of Thessa. On the stone.
I'm going to look to Gallus. Gallus, you're the one who worships Thessa, correct?
As you walk up, she comes to. She wakes up, sees you guys walking up the path, sits up, gradually stands up.
Apologize for the intrusion.
Oh, I just laid down for a minute. Honest.
All right.
What can I do for you? You're back so soon. Was the feast good? How was the prince?
It was good, however.
Did anyone get sacrificed at the meal?
Not at the meal.
However, if we don't do something, Prince Hector will be next to be sacrificed.
Yeah, we know. He's in the morning. He's going to be lashed to the stone.
Well, we have a solution to this.
Oh, okay. Lay it on me.
Something that will appease Thessa better than ruining this town forever.
Okay.
We will retrieve the sword.
Are you saying killing Xanthos? Oh, wait.
No.
Okay, retrieving the sword. Unless you've got a way to get there and back by morning, then that won't stop
That is
it.
where the cleverness comes in.
There's no such thing.
We need an excuse.
There is only direct or there is nothing else.
We need an excuse for the prince to accompany us.
Okay, so you're going to carry his dead body with you. He is being sacrificed in the morning.
So you remember earlier when you asked Thessa if you could trust us?
I do, and I can.
And she outright spoke and said yes.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
I trust you.
We need you to lie for us.
Okay.
We need you
Okay.
to say that Thessa gave you a vision that Hector must accompany us to get the sword.
Okay.
And retrieve it, since his family is the one who lost it.
No problem. So by the time I talk to Hector, he will be dead. He dies in the morning.
But it's not morning yet. You can go talk to him right now.
But I won't.
Ah. Then may we borrow a sack and some rope?
And some chloroform.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question: How big of a sack
If
do
you need a sack and rope, you might need 2 spools for Xanthos.
Should we simply kidnap Xanthos?
Oh, kidnap. Oh, I thought you were going to dispose of his body.
No.
I'm misunderstood.
Then we would have asked for shovels.
I'm all for doing that with Xanthos.
Yeah,
I misunderstood. Okay. Why
That would
do you
give
want
us
to?
some time.
Let's start. I'm being obnoxious because I hate Xanthos. So
no,
let me.
We understand where you're coming from.
And he is ruling this town, not the prince.
Yeah, we got that.
It's Xanthos' choice of what happens in this town, not the prince. So if you want to stop something from happening, you have to go through Xanthos, not the prince.
Does Xanthos have a history of taking bribes?
I'm assuming yes.
I don't know. He's pretty well off. He's the king's advisor and all, and lives in the palace and all that. So I don't know if he's takes bribes.
Then I have my ideal solution.
What is it?
We can ask someone.
I'm going to break into his bedroom and threaten him That
Okay.
the prince must be here when we come back, or else.
No, just give him time to prepare. If you're going to do that, you might as well just slash his throat.
I thank you for your permission.
I mean, we could do it. We could.
Thank you.
We could. It's definitely
Okay.
an option.
Okay,
against it.
let's talk organizationally here. The prince is technically in charge. He is the ruler now, but
He's a
Xanthos
puppet.
But Xanthos has all the power. He's the one with the hoplites. The prince, right, is supposed to be in charge, but the town has lost faith in him. He's lost the family sword is missing. The king is dead. The prince is young. Xanthos is he rules with terror and fear, and we've been suffering over the last few weeks from this serious storms. All of our ships have been destroyed. We don't have, well, most of the ships. There's still a few, but there's things going on that is unexplainable, and Xanthos is the only one that's come up with any ideas to try to stop it, and the people have gotten behind him because he is not loved but feared. So, work with that. Kidnapping the prince will just make Xanthos send all of his hoplites out to kill you all.
I don't like how complicated this is being. Can we simply kill Xanthos?
If Xanthos dies, I don't know what will happen.
We probably will not be staying
He won't be here to give orders, for one.
But that won't necessarily stop Hector from sacrificing himself anyways.
I don't
Although it might buy us
No.
some time. It might buy us some time because they have to find out the successor.
I wish to try it.
Well, you know where he sleeps.
Yep.
Okay, who's with me?
There's one other question.
Yes.
Is his room is Xanthos? How heavily guarded is Xanthos' room?
Who you asking?
Our priestess friend over here.
I don't know. I've never slept with him.
I do not blame you. He is a very
Wow. So
Let's just go kill him
How,
as well.
how
But-
many hoplites?
There
Are
were
in the-
there were the 4 hoplites that you remember
Mm-hmm.
out in the dining hall. The main
Yep.
area. Those are the only hoplites you saw.
There was a
There was a
there was
cultist.
a soldier that was with you.
Yes.
Who is he, and where might we find him?
He frequents the woods around the temple. He has been he is not easy to find. He protects the temple. He's only found when he
Alright.
wants to be found. But he's older, he's retired, he doesn't do that anymore, that kind of stuff. Some people might call him a paladin.
Alright, I was just thinking that maybe if he was an old soldier, he might have information as to the layout of the palace, the people who are there, and if there's
Oh
any
no, he
might
never
be able
worked
to
for the
trust-
crown.
Okay.
He worked. He was more of a palace kind of soldier.
Okay.
I'm a temple soldier. He would have stayed in and around the temples, maybe the inn, maybe the woods around the temple. You know,
All right.
keeping the bandits out, that kind of stuff. He's not a. He would be considered a hoplite, of course, but for the temple.
Understood. Well, looks like we can either kill Xanthar, see if we can buy ourselves some time, and get Hector to see our way around, or we let things be. I see no way to convince Hector otherwise, and seems like any other path is going to lead us to be dogged by soldiers, or just outright kicked out of this place. So
I say we go through Millie's plan and kill the fat bastard already. Let's just be done with it.
If only we had a way to make him slip. Reveal his
What?
hands.
oh, slip
Slip.
up.
I say let's just kill him. Say that Fess has been displeased with his inability to stop the storms and be done with that.
What if
Oh.
what if we leave him dead in his bed with my trident in his chest?
Or knock him out and tie him up to the pole.
Whatever. I did notice that there was a relief being created in the palace, and some of it was covered with tapestries instead of a relief, and I'm wondering if that's hiding something then. Might be worth a look. On our way to Xanthar, of course.
So you want to walk in the front door?
Yes.
Well, if there's something on that relief that we can see, I mean, someone can scout around, see if there's something else, or another opening. If that was his attempt to hide what maybe Alexandra was, the Oracle was seeing and getting information about, and he's hidden it with.
I've pretty much read you the entire thing.
Okay, so
So
end.
what was covered, you could tell what was underneath it.
Okay.
It was like it was unfinished, but what you saw is what's on the wall.
So
Alright.
they all already know the information I had in my dreams.
Yeah, you don't have to go.
All right.
Whatever you lift
it
up
would
is
be
like
something
the- yeah.
it'd be something that Hector would know, most likely if he frequents the palace.
Well, you already know it as well.
Yeah. So, I guess if someone wants to see if there's another entrance, otherwise straight up the front.
Yeah, if you guys are walking over to the palace, right? You don't see any hoplites outside. You just see moonlight shining on the building. There are windows. There are a couple of windows, 2 that lead to Hector's room and 2 that lead to Xanthos's room. All you would have to do is open the shutter and climb in. But if you have armor and heavy weapons and things like that,
Yep.
you might cause a ruckus climbing through this 2-foot window.
I assume that none of us are wearing armor since we want to speak quick and quiet as possible.
Well, I don't wear armor anyways, and I require no weapons other than my claws. And
Maybe
if something
run through
goes
the
horribly
window?
wrong, I can become one with the night sky.
I took, just to clarify, Raxus had his armor since we were going to the feast, and he figured it would look very suspicious if I showed up in full battle attire. So he took off his armor when at the feast.
Right. Okay.
If some people want to go through the window, then the rest of us can be in the other room in case things go bad.
Yep.
The other room is
That's
where the
before
hoplites
hoplites.
are.
Yep.
So
There's
if
four
you
of
want to go in the room with the hoplites, you might be able to. They look like they're resting. They're not asleep. They're just resting at the dinner table.
Yep.
Talking, maybe playing some cards or whatever, throwing some dice or drinking some wine. Or do you want to just
have bad choices?
Or do you want to just
stresses me out?
Do you want to just
So-
wait at the doorway until something happens, and then if you could run in, or do you want to walk in and cause a ruckus
think-
immediately, or
I think Zermides was going to go through the window.
he's going to go in the back?
See if he can't, do the deed. But the rest of us need to be around and ready in the event that something.
Where
happens.
is around and ready on this map?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Do you guys want to just walk in and have the hoplites know that the rest of us are there, or probably?
Well, you're not
wait
supposed to be in there, so if you walk in, there's
Oh,
going to be a
okay.
problem.
What if
and wait in the shadows outside?
What if you all stage a fight, a loud argument outside, and draw their attention to cover the sounds of his screams of pain?
Make a stealth roll,
Excellent.
Zermides.
Zermedes.
Nice.
Okay.
Dang.
You could almost take a couple of swords by his window and bang them against each other, and the hoplites would never hear it. Because all you can hear are waves slapping against cliffs.
Excellent.
Yeah, you hear the sounds of the ocean. I'm exaggerating, but
Okay.
but
so
there is a
Zermides-
lot of noise. They would have
Would you like-
disadvantage to hear you.
Zermides, would you like us to distract them and pull them towards the front here? That might alert Zarna or Xanthos.
We have the special knives.
Yes.
I will keep mine in one hand, and you can watch to see if I get into trouble and charge in with
do.
possibly more warning than the others will have.
All right. So we'll wait around the door. We'll loiter.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting in the shadows.
Okay, I got Gallus in the shadows, Raxus and Lycos. That's where you guys want to stand. That right there. Okay, that's fine as
Yeah,
well.
that sounds good to me.
Okay, I'm gonna move you, Zermates. Do you want to go on the side window, or do you want to go in the back window?
Back window.
Okay.
I'm hoping it lands on his bed.
Can you see inside?
I can see. Oh, yes, I can actually.
Okay. Can you see inside?
Yes, I can see him.
That's right. He's laying in bed. He is snoring through a hooked nose.
Excellent. This shall be his downfall.
Okay, so you're inside. He's sleeping. Let me give you a description of the room, as if you can't already see. Blah, blah, blah. Chambers. Okay. The room can be entered through the window. Okay. If you climb through the window, waves break against the rocks. Yeah. His chamber is lavishly furnished. One wall bears a fresco of a kraken newly painted. At the foot of his bed rests a wooden chest. Plus, you have a wardrobe, a desk for writing. This is a fur of some kind. That's a rug of some kind. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Excellent. I'm going to approach the bed.
Okay. I'm still working off your 26.
Oh, okay. No worries then.
Yeah, you're being very quiet.
And I'm going to attempt to unarmed strike, snap his neck.
Okay. Luckily, in these rules, there's no such thing as coup de grace. So you get advantage on your attack. If you hit, you'll automatically crit him.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to hit him first.
Okay. Click. 19?
He has a 10 armor class. So you hit him and crit him. So you roll an extra, what, D4?
Yeah. So 8 damage.
Okay. His eyes open. He sees you above him. And you want to do a flurry?
Yes, I absolutely do. If the
Sure.
one hit.
Yeah. His eyes open. He's got this big gash in his throat. Blood's like going.
I will mark off a key point. And it
Well, don't
gets
you get a
2 more
bonus attack anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, but
I
you want to
be
you want to
sure.
guarantee it, right? Okay, got it.
23?
He has a 10 armor class.
He's awake now, right? So no
He
more
is
crit.
he is awake. He is prone, so you get advantage. But that's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Another 8. And then...
his eyes close. He stops breathing. He's dead.
Yeah, that was enough to kill me.
Right. You gash his throat. He goes, and then you go, and you kill him. He is dead.
I'm going to slide his body out the window.
It won't fit.
Well,
The
leave it.
windows are only 2 feet wide.
I'll leave it in a heap in front of the window. What was that chest at the end of his bed?
There is a chest at the end of the bed.
Awesome. What's in that?
It is a wooden chest.
Hmm. Oh, I take a moment and I show his dead body and the knife.
Alright.
Let's grab.
Oh, okay. So your radio lights up, bing, and you can see.
I told
I've been watching it. You told me to.
The dagger now has light coming out of it because he's in a room that has light. There's a candle lit, and so now you have candlelight coming through your dagger, right? Right, and you can see this body laying on the bed with blood all over the place, and his face is mangled, and his neck is like gouged open. Okay, so it's filled with ceremonial robes. Atop the clothing lies a silver pendant, shaped like a kraken.
I'll be having that.
Okay, so let me show you.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine now.
It is in your possession, and that's 9/10. But yeah.
Yep.
So you got shaped like a kraken. And if you wish to put that on your character sheet, it's 10 gold.
Oh, I cannot sell that here.
No, I don't see why not.
Okay. Lay his body back on the bed since it didn't fit through the window.
Right. Well, it's on the
And
bed. You didn't move it because you
Yeah.
knew it wouldn't fit.
I'm going to take his candle and lay it sideways on the sheets.
So you want to kill
Right.
the prince.
What? Isn't this a stone building?
There is wood everywhere.
Oh, I just wanted
It
to
is
set
a
the bed
stone
on fire.
building, but there is wood. Stone buildings can still burn down.
Oh, okay.
Rafters, ceilings. tapestries.
I feel like it's obvious that I did this, but I'm gonna leave because I don't have anything better I can do.
Okay.
Do you really think the uplights would?
Does anybody
risk-
want to give him advice
I would.
once he gets back to you guys?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, can I?
Because he's
can I-
obviously not a thief.
No,
Yep.
no, I'm not.
Well, I'm not either. The only thief here is Orion.
Or he's obviously not a
Of-
D&D
Of
adventurer.
course. So
I don't know what to do with dead bodies. I'm not a murderer normally.
Normally.
Did he come back around here?
Yeah,
Okay.
as if he came out. You can give him advice.
So, I would
Because you
say-
saw a lot of what he did.
Yeah, I'd say go ahead and light it on fire. And after it seems like you got a decent fire going,
There's no water brigades. That's
we'll
not
throw
a thing.
something-
There's no fire departments. There is
We'll-
no way to put a fire out. That's not a thing.
I have create and destroy water. It is a thing.
So you can create one little splash of water.
Yes.
Like
No, but then we, throw stuff or
more stuff on the
there's
fire.
hoplites. There's hoplites
Starting
here.
fires
I mean-
is very serious business. Is what I'm just trying to say.
Oh,
At
I know.
this level of
But-
world, fires are a definite. That's a killer. That'll take the palace down.
So I
I-
should set it on fire and then we get the prince out.
we should make enough commotion that the prince can come out, but that we are not noticed. But here's the other thing: having a big incident,
Mhm.
and if there is any change, then that'll be the explanation, right? The guy.
Okay, so
The guy
you're-
destroyed the advisor, destroyed the palace, and if everything goes better, then no sacrifice needed.
I think in that case we should still leave the trident in his chest. That's a symbol.
yeah, I'm trying to give you guys something, and I probably shouldn't because I'm being that dungeon master that wants you to find everything, and I'm gonna shut my mouth.
I'm sure there was more cool
You know,
stuff in this room.
the +5 Holy Avenger that's under his bed is now
Yeah.
going to be gone.
I'm sure there's cool stuff in his room, but
There's no
Sir
such
Medes
thing.
wouldn't
That
look.
doesn't exist. But
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I mean,
You got the
that's-
pendant.
Yeah.
That's my
Wow.
thing. Oh,
10 gold. Whoopee.
Yeah, that's 100 tridents.
so
Yeah.
I mean that's my thought. If anyone else has anything else,
Should
I can't really think of anything.
Should we see if he had like a diary admitting he was evil?
well,
What?
or some form
You mean
of-
like evidence?
Oh yeah.
You mean like you can?
Because if
read?
you just if you just kill him and burn the place down, you guys are going on the sacrificial bike.
Assuming we stay in town.
Yeah, exactly.
assuming
yeah.
we're still there.
I'll go
yeah.
back in. Anybody want to
you
come
get
with
this
me?
you get this vision or this whisper in the wind that says, why why did you kill him? Okay,
Because
so
my
you go back
solution to
inside.
problems is violence.
I understand, but so you go back inside. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Because you're either going to start a fire, or you're
Sure.
going to stab him with a trident, or you're going to do
Because-
something.
Because I can read, I'll go ahead and take off my
Accompany him?
armor and accompany him.
Okay,
There's a desk.
yeah, you can accompany him. Everyone can go back there. Unless you guys still want to wait and watch the guards. You guys still want to wait and watch the guards?
I'll stay and watch and wait for the guards just in case something goes wrong.
Okay.
All right,
You never know.
I'll give you my dagger so that you can.
Are you wearing any kind of armor or anything?
I said I was going to take off my armor.
Okay. So go ahead and make a stealth roll. with advantage.
Alright.
Wait,
Isn't your armor leather?
and Zermates,
No,
you need to
I
make a
got
stealth roll with
bronze.
advantage as well.
Okay.
So you both make a stealth roll.
9.
Okay.
It didn't help.
12.
Okay. So, okay. So he's trying to climb through the window, and he's grunting, and it's tight because it's only a 2-foot window. And you put your hand up on his mouth, and you keep him from making too much noise as he climbs in.
Thank you.
But it might still not have been enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, there is a desk. There is a chest with robes. There is a wardrobe where robes should be.
Yep. I will do the wardrobe.
I'll look
And there's
at
a
the
mirror
chest.
right next to the, there's a mirror right there, by the way. Okay. So you can see yourself. Hey, look at that. Yeah, so you check the wardrobe.
Yes.
It has normal clothing. Wealthy clothing, rich clothing, if you will. But it is, and it's extra large, clothing. But it's just clothing. And you can search through the pockets and everything else. It looks all pretty new and everything like that. Okay, you're at the desk.
Yes.
Okay. You pull it out and you look for a drawer. There's no drawers. There's no papers. There's no books. There's a candle. There's no ink.
What about the chest again? What's under the robes? Anything?
Okay.
Pull them out, give them a shake.
Okay. Make an investigation roll.
Make an investigation roll, he says. As
Yep.
I search for my button. And
Yeah.
click.
This is not a perception roll. That's not insight.
Oh. I clicked the wrong thing. 18.
Okay. So you go through the robes. They're robes. They don't have pockets, right? So you're taking, and they're more like religious robes or vestments or whatever. You're pulling them out, and you're pulling them out, and you take out about 4 or 5 of them, and you get to the bottom of the chest, which is
And there's a
probably,
trapdoor.
well, the bottom of the chest is probably about 6 inches above the floor.
There's a false bottom.
I didn't say that.
Let's see if you can get to
I'm
it, or let's lift up
Gonna
the
see if the
chest.
bottom comes out.
How are you going to do that?
Try and grab like the edge of it with my claws, like against the side of the box. See if I can, like peeling up a sticker.
There's no place for your fingers to get in. No claws, gaps, or spaces.
How
I'm gonna
about
tip the chest upside down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you lift this extremely heavy chest.
I'm an
It's an
extremely strong
empty,
boy.
it's an extremely heavy, empty chest. Right? By flipping it over, the bottom falls out.
Yay!
Dumping on the floor 100 scales.
Scales?
It is a coin.
Oh.
Do you remember scales on your list of coins?
I don't think I do, but I'm looking for it right now to double check.
You are correct. They are not.
It is not.
It is not a coin you recognize. But they are gold.
Traitor.
Oh.
They're made of gold. And they have a Gorgon's face on one side and a pair of twinning snakes on the other.
Okay.
Those all seem like good things.
Now,
That was a-
also when it spills out, not only are there 100 scales, there are several small serpent-shaped bottles of thick green glass.
Serpent-shaped bottles.
Yep. 3 are empty, but 1 is half full.
What sort of liquid is in it?
The kind that sloshes.
I mean, like, what color? Oh, green glass, never mind.
Yeah, green glass, candlelight, night vision.
Yeah. I
But
will...
but it does have a smell.
What's it smell like?
Death.
I am a cat.
It smells like iron.
Well, we can test and see what this is.
Blood?
little bit.
But it's not blood. It's not that thick.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put the chest back, put the robes in it, and...
And the bottom?
Yeah.
You put the... Okay. You take the scales and the bottles.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I think... I mean, if we're going to present this to Hector...
Is anybody here from Persia?
No.
Did anyone in their backstory come from Persia?
I'm from an unknown exotic land.
You had to have known. That was predetermined.
No, I was a baby.
Oh, that's true. So you wouldn't know where you
No,
were
I
from.
wouldn't know.
Okay, yeah, you wouldn't remember any of that. Okay. I think Orion might be from Persia.
He
Did
was a
Orion
killer
told
from
me he
us.
was from Persia?
I'm gonna double check.
Because he may have told me.
Well, no. I mean, he wouldn't mention anything like this. No. No, wasn't him. Okay, so I guess you'll have to ask people that know.
Yep. I mean, we could take this stuff, but it might make more sense if it was here that we can show. You said there's rugs?
Well, there's this round rug over here, and then there's a fur pelt laying on the ground there.
I'd like to flip both of them over. One, to see if there's anything underneath, and two, to see if there's anything on the underneath side of them.
Yeah, like writings or whatever. Yep. They're just normal accoutrement of the
Is it a
house.
Persian rug?
It might be, whatever that is.
Okay, so I guess really the thing is if we just collect this up and then show Hector after he knows that this guy's been killed, that doesn't prove anything. We also need to have all of this here to prove it.
So maybe we put these things in his pocket?
No.
Or like just under his bed loose? So
Okay,
when
I'm
they
gonna-
come in and find
No,
him,
we
they
need-
Hang on,
the
hang on.
chest.
I'm gonna give you a little culture, little lore. There's no such thing as law. Okay, don't try to bring your 20th century proof and evidence into what there is. I found this in his chest. He's a bad guy. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's your word is your bond, right? And if they want to verify it, then they will. Well, first of all, okay, are you a trusted person? Then your word is your bond, right? There's no questioning it. So if you see somebody, let's say robbing a house, and you kill them, and the hoplites run up and they say, "What happened?" You say, "He was robbing him. I killed him." And the hoplites will go, "Okay." Or they'll say, "I got to take you in because you're a foreigner," and then we got to have somebody ask you questions. So it could go either way, but usually, if you're a trusted, good person, then you're above the law.
All right. Well then, grab it all up.
Yep.
We'll get it out the window.
I don't know if you want to show it because then they might want to confiscate it, or if you want to keep it. I mean, it's gold, but it's also foreign gold, and it's weird.
I mean, I think some should be.
Or you just keep it.
We could always.
Or you can find out what's
say-
in the vials.
Yes, that's something we must do as well. But we could always say we were investigating him because he seemed suspicious, and we found these things and confronted him, and he attacked me, so I killed him.
So I need to punch you in the face.
Right.
Is what
So
you're
we
saying.
have 2 reasons that he's dead.
So you need me to punch you in the face.
Self-defense.
No, he could never touch me.
Alright.
We're great warriors, remember? We killed Manticore.
And Marrows.
That's fair.
That's
All
right. And everyone heard you
Uh,
tell the king that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's collect this.
Okay.
And head out.
Be on our way.
So you got a pendant with a kraken on it. You have
We
4
have
vials.
robes.
One is half empty.
Mm-hmm.
And you have 100 scales. And pretty much nothing else in the room is worth a damn.
Okay,
And who has all that?
I do.
Okay.
I found it.
Okay. And so you guys all go outside to consolidate, and you'll notice that all the guards are asleep.
I'm just a soldier, man. I'm just a soldier, man.
Yeah, they
How
weren't.
did I
They
get
didn't
all
hear you,
rolled-
or they don't care.
Yep.
How did I get rolled up in those shenanigans?
Alright. I'll ask for my dagger back.
I'll
So I
return the
guess-
dagger to you.
Thanks. And I guess we'll just.
In the morning,
Morning.
somebody's going to be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is going to be surprised.
So what are you guys going to do right now?
Well, we can just head back to that inn.
Go get the sword!
Sword.
We should.
We gotta make sure Hector doesn't kill himself first.
We should
Yeah,
wake
that's
up
what I'm saying.
Hector.
Yeah, it's like 10 or 11, something like that at night right now.
Yeah. I'm fine waking up Hector.
Can we climb in his window?
You can.
Oh,
I
his
think-
door's probably unguarded.
I think this one, even if it is unguarded, it's more to stand on ceremony to not just sneak in on a prince. But if we can sneak past the hoplites, I'm up for that. Although I'm gonna get in my armor.
What if we walk in the front door and say we're here to see Hector? Do you think they'll argue?
Not really, since we're on good terms with Hector and because we're the champions.
I don't think they care about him either.
I mean, they would try to stop you and maybe... I don't know.
They need a sacrifice. So, I think announcing isn't a bad thing.
Okay, so you guys get armed up like you own the place, and then you're going to go inside?
Yes.
Okay. So you get to about there when
do
one of the
all this.
hoplites wakes up, right? The one right here. He wakes up and he looks up and he says, "Oh, you know you're not supposed to be in here." That's what he says.
Yes, but we have just simply one more request that we'd like to talk to King Hector before,
What hour is it?
sacrifice in the
It
morning.
seems like it's the hour of the owl.
and it may be, but if he's going to sacrifice himself in the morning, then there's
We
not-
really don't have time to wait. You know, he won't be here.
Yes, we just simply have one request.
Okay, he wakes everybody up, and he comes over to Hector's door, and he really probably shouldn't be disturbed, but knock, knock, knock. He knocks on the door. And then you hear, "Come," and the hoplite says, "Hector, there are your friends are here to talk to you about your sacrifice." Again. And then he comes and he sits back down. And after about 5 minutes or so, Hector comes out, and he looks like he's half asleep.
Tell me,
What? What's going
King
on?
Hector, have you ever seen a coin like this? And I show him one of the scales.
He looks at it and rubs his eyes a little bit, goes over by the brazier which is burning and holds it up, and he says, no. It's weird though. I mean, it's made of gold, but I don't know who would have minted this. I mean, this has got a Gorgon's head on it and some snakes or something.
So it was paid.
Maybe if you go, maybe some of the merchants might know, people that have traveled the lands, outside of this region, because that looks like a foreign coin of some kind.
What reason would someone who doesn't travel have for having an entire chest of foreign gold?
Well, maybe they're a merchant, or they do dealings with, traders or something. I don't know.
Do you recognize this bottle? And I show him one of the empty ones.
Oh, look at that. It's an ornate snake-shaped bottle. That's really cool. I wish I had one.
Here, you can keep it.
You give it to him?
Yeah.
Okay. He puts it on the table. He goes, huh. So, where did you get that bottle?
The same place as the coin.
Oh, okay.
It fell out of
You've been shopping in the local markets?
It fell out of truck. It fell out of a cart.
You've been shopping in the local markets at this hour? I mean, how would you get these coins? That's weird. I think there's a story to be told here.
There is, but it may require the origin of these coins.
So why'd you wake me up?
We thought you would know.
Well, I think at this point in time, it's time to tell the whole thing, whether we have the information on the origin of the coins or not. Hector, we did a little bit of investigation in on the matter that seemed odd to us.
Okay.
We found, as my companion said, a chest full of these coins in Xanthos's room, in his chests, along with these bottles.
And not
all
just in a chest.
All four hoplites are listening intently.
And not just in a chest, but in a hidden compartment within the chest.
Yes. As if this is payment to him. It's not to be known publicly.
Now, one of our number also had
Hector
visions.
walks over to Xanthos's door and knocks on it. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock.
One of our number also had visions from the goddess Thessa of a king being poisoned while somebody stood by smiling with evil joy.
Visions cannot be put into evidence. Hector says to one of the hoplites, "Open this door. I'm not hearing anything. It sounds... he's not responding to my knocks." And the hoplites go, "Oh my god, man, we're getting in between all this stuff, man. What's going on? Fuck this shit." Okay, and then...
they definitely mercenaries.
So he goes up to the door with his key and he unlocks the door. And as he's a gasp. He's like, "Oh my god, what just happened?" And then he runs into the room.
Do I see inside?
Well, I don't know. Can you? Maybe not. Maybe I got to remove...
Yeah, the door's not removed, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not ever going to happen.
Oh, it doesn't have a...
A door.
Yeah.
So we could do this. Ta-da! There we go. That'll work. And then I just have to move you guys. Why is everybody hiding over on the right-hand side? I didn't move you over there. There. You all should be able to see into the room now.
Yep.
Really?
Maybe we should have just left him to be found in the morning.
Duplicated all
Oh.
of you guys.
We made decisions, and that's that. Now I can't see.
Right, because I duplicated you all. There we go.
All right.
By accident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the hoplites go running in there to see what's up, and they scream, Xanthos is dead! Some bandit came in here and looted his body and robbed him and took everything out of his chest, and they come out and they're like,
Why, he's dead!
my prince, there's murderers afoot, and and they start pointing at you guys.
I
Well,
raised my hand.
Well, You what?
Well, yes.
What do you guys have to say for
Idiot.
yourself?
As we said, we had visions from Thessa. We looked into it.
I'm so glad it's coming to an end and Orion's gonna come in and like, what's happening, you guys?
Yes, you're following
So
the visions of the
I'm
god.
waiting for an answer. What happened?
So
And don't tell me no visions. I don't care about that. What happened?
funny that you don't care about visions.
Wow,
but yeah, the
Don't
visions
care about
of
visions.
unique
Well, I heard
guy,
some.
But
Well, I heard some rockets.
If I had the
and
vision,
came
I'd care.
inside.
I don't care about your visions.
like I said before,
Okay.
It-
we went into his room
Why did you go into his
on
room?
our suspicions.
Okay.
Okay.
So you had a vision to go into his room and kill him?
That wasn't part of the vision, is to kill him, but
Oh. Well, okay. I'm sorry I interrupted. Continue.
Yep. The visions gave us suspicion to do the investigation. Our investigation, which led us to finding these foreign coins, which look like a payoff, ended in there was a confrontation with him.
The hoplite standing next to you says, may I see that coin?
Yes. And I hand it to him.
Okay.
Just pouching.
And then he reaches into his own pouch and he compares the two coins, that yours and his, and they're identical. And then he gives you your coin back and he says to Hector, these are Persian scales.
So,
And that is what Xanthos has been paying us.
Xanthos has a secret chest full of Persian money while he terrorizes this town and insists on the death of its rulers. He's clearly an agent working to undermine Illos.
I just met you
That-
yesterday. Do I believe that? Which
What
one-
if we
what-
bring back your sister and the sword?
I don't know what you're talking about a sword.
The sword of Illos. That's one thing we were also going to bring back.
Hmm.
We have a big to-do list.
Okay, so I have a lot to think about.
Oh, that reminds me. The vision that we had, that you, I know, don't care about, showed a king being poisoned. Was your father ill in any way before he died?
Yeah, he's been getting more sick by the month. Every month he was getting sicker and sicker.
But fairly recent, yes?
Yeah, for the last few months, yeah.
That serpent bottle I showed you. I'd pull out the rest. There were 4 of them, and this one is still half full. I imagine if you look into it...
Where did you get these again?
The secret compartment in Xylos's chest.
Okay. Give me that bottle, the one that's half full, and he says, I will have this tested to see if it is in fact poison as you speak. I have a lot to think about. What?
We may have acted rather hastily, but it's because we know ourselves to be right as agents of Thessa. And Artemis.
Athena.
No, just the first 2.
Fine.
Fine, be like that.
No, Athena and Artemis get along
I
well.
want to believe you because you seem like trustworthy people, but I cannot be... I do not want to be deceived. So,
okay.
If you would, go to the inn, stay in the inn for the evening, come here in the morning, and I will give you my decision.
Understood.
As you wish.
Yeah.
I give the advice so that Raxus stand on guard in case he try to still go kill himself.
Well, we're supposed to go to the inn upon his...
I think that is the least of his worries.
Well, I'm going to the temple. They're the only persons I can trust right now.
Can't trust the party or the fishermen at the village?
No, I mean in the village. It's the only place I feel safe.
The villagers owe us their lives. They will protect us. One way or another.
So you're going to go to the Temple of Thessa?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want, you can just go ahead and add a level of exhaustion, because there's nowhere to sleep there. Is that what you want to do? You want to spend the night awake at the temple, trying to get a good night's sleep? Or do you want to go to the inn and get a good night's sleep in a bed?
In for me.
He's waiting for us.
You're muted, by the way.
Oh, am I?
I'm
Not
gonna
you,
be
him. There we go.
I'm gonna be a good herald and pray to my goddess all night.
Alright.
At the temple?
Yes.
Okay.
I will be exhausted tomorrow. Meaning next week.
The prince awaits us.
Right.
Or the king is expecting us to be in the inn to prove that we are telling the truth. And as I'm telling the truth, I shall be at the inn.
As will I. I don't know. I'll be a liar to someone we have just met.
Right. Okay. So the scout Gallus is basically telling the king, "You can't trust me I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and to hell with you. Okay. I'm okay with that.
He ordered me to go to the inn.
Yes, he ordered.
Yeah,
all,
he ordered all of us.
And then we're gonna meet him in the morning.
Technically, he didn't say this is an order, but the king's word is,
Is law.
Yeah.
Is so Gallus. He.
So you can
accident-
yeah. Thank you. You can talk him out of going to the temple.
Yeah. All right, then I'm gonna do a quick turn to the temple, do my prayer, and go to the inn.
Okay. So you guys go. I'm just gonna speed through the last minute of the game. You guys go to the inn. They set you up with a room. It's free of charge. The king told you to be here, so they're gonna open a room for you guys. And in the morning, we'll be at the inn, waking up for breakfast, introductions, all that stuff. And that's where we'll start next week.
Okay.
Waking up at the inn.
So we did a coup in less than 6 hours of being in that town.
To be honest, I was not expecting us to murder a king's advisor.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
it's
killed
like
the
a
number
protect.
2 man, which is actually number 1.
I was hoping there was like a little bit more time to do stuff, but there really wasn't.
So we stopped the sacrifice.
That's because you had to stop the sacrifice. That's why there was no
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So stopped the sacrifice, killed the king's advisor, and possibly unearthed a conspiracy with the Persians. Not bad for a day.
That is true. You will learn more about the coins as well,
All right.
Excellent.
because there is a race of beings that are only in Persia that use these coins. And they have scales.
The marrow?
No. Something much worse. They're called
Actual
the
Gorgons?
they're called the Cicerans.
It's okay.
Yeah. Actual Gorgons? Yeah, probably.
I
Yeah.
mean, Persians are pretty bad already.
Yeah. The snake bodies and stuff, so it's kind of like marrow. But the marrow had fish bodies. These guys have snake bodies.
So marrow adjacent.
Marrow adjacent.
So,
but
so,
can turn you to stone.
Thanks for the session, guys.
Yeah,
Yes, thank
it
you
was
very
fun.
much.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Also, sorry
sorry,
if I was out
there
of
was
it.
very little fighting.
Yeah. Also, sorry if I was out of it. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep since I.
You said something
I'm
about
up.
going on a trip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
We
I
got an
got
early
you.
flight, and I'm.
Yeah, no worries. I think you did well. Okay, guys, I will see you next week, same time, same bat channel. You guys have a good night.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
so we still got an
Okay, I muted them. All right, guys. If you're on the channel, we play every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. And hopefully they will uncover the plot. The plot thickens. Or what do they say? The thought plickens? I don't know. All right, I'll see you next week.